Hey, welcome back, everybody. I am very excited for this episode because we're going to be heading to Mars, which is Sparky's home. I started to say hometown, but it's a home planet, home area,
Home
place.
on the range.
Yeah. So it's gonna be really interesting. We haven't been to Mars yet this whole campaign, so I'm excited. Before we jump into everything, I'm gonna let everybody introduce themselves and their characters a little bit, and then we'll hop in. So starting with Jay, tell us a little bit about Sparky and yourself.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jay, or Jay Leon, or Alien Dre. I should really know my own names by now. Jay Leon, or Alien Jays, and I'm mostly inactive on most of the socials right now. Probably going to stay that way for a while, but I am kind of a writer game dev combo, I guess is the best way to put it. I also role play in some other games, and tonight I'm playing Sparky, as always. And Sparky is, I think, a coordinated mess might be my best description of them. They are one of the more clever people in the group. That's not to say no one else is clever, because we've got probably 3/5 of the group is very like on point. But then Sparky's also very panicky and anxiety filled. I have dubbed it Animus anxiety when I get a pain in my chest from getting anxious, because that's exactly what I feel every time I play Sparky. They jump in feet first and then come out head first somehow. And they're kind of the resident filler, I guess would be the best way to describe them. That's probably, yeah. So that's it.
Okay. um, and yeah, Sparky is great. Um, Next, we've got Vanessa. Tell us a little bit about Annie and yourself.
Hi, I'm Vanessa. I am a traditional artist. I work primarily in pencil sketch and watercolor, as well as a little bit of digital art. I play Annie. She is, every time I introduce her, I always joke that she, before the wipe, was Space Anonymous. She used to deal in a lot of information brokering and stealing from the big guy to sell to the little guy kind of deal, which is essentially why she ended up leaving her family in the first place and how she eventually found her way to the cartel. Um, but yeah, she's I guess maybe perhaps she is now the tallest in the group again, aside from Liam, which was a point that I very much regretted losing as we introduced new characters. But I think she might be the tall bean again, which is fantastic. Um, she still typically wears her space buns, but instead of pink hair now, she has like a brown to silver ombre.
Oh
But yeah,
yeah,
that's Annie.
fantastic. Next, we've got Alex. Tell us a little bit about Seattle and yourself.
Hello. So far, I haven't had to resorting to writing on my hands this week. Um,
Fingers crossed.
I got my toes crossed. Okay. Uh, Hi, I'm Alex. I'm a digital artist. You can find me around the interwebs at Can Chaos Art on Twitch and on Twitter. I'm hoping to be doing a bit more gaming stuff on Twitch soon too, because I like playing zombies with friends. Uh, yeah, so I'm playing Seattle, who has recently laid to rest his former who he used to be, the Guy Lavoie. He put him to rest with his husband and was just like, I'm sorry, I cannot be you. I don't want to be you. And is living his life as, what's Daisy's last name again?
Thornwood.
Thornwood. He's living his life now as Seattle Thornwood with his daughter, Daisy Thornwood. It's a weird world, and so he's actually in like that kind of good place once you've kind of hit that point in with like confronting something in therapy sort of thing, and that kind of good space after it of like, no, I did it, I'm okay, it's not all crashing down around me. But now he's also very worried for his best friend Sparky, because Sparky is his best friend, and you do not harm his best friend.
Very true. Very true. All right, and then we'll hop on over to Lisa. Tell us a little bit about you and the captain.
Hi, I play the captain, and as the name implies, I'm the captain of the ship. I'm an android, but I am a Black Ops murder droid. But she's just trying to figure out things just as much as everyone else and trying to understand her ridiculous human crewmates. And she's doing her best, but it's a struggle. It's definitely a struggle. And yeah, she's just trying to get out alive and make sure everyone else gets out alive with her.
That's fair. All right. And that just leaves me. So I am Raven. I am the creative director for the Raven Evermore, which includes virtually everything that you can imagine tabletop related, from game design, like fundamental RPG, which is the system that this game runs on. I do GMing, streaming, obviously, virtually everything other than making dice, which that's in the plans for the future. So that's me. I also do all the art for 95% of the shows on the channel. So the overlays and art, that's all me. And then I play everybody else in the universe, including Daisy, which she looks something like this. That's there in chat. And also Seth, who is a cartel, or ex-cartel, I should say, gopher, I guess. His job was to retrieve people from places that they didn't want to be retrieved from, and he got adopted by the group. So yeah, I also play those two predominantly on the ship. Last week was a very interesting episode where we had some downtime after a long string of stressful events, where it sort of had a beach party on the bridge of the ship, complete with kinetic sand and decorations and outfits. Got a few people got a little bit intoxicated. The police might have shown up at one point, but it all ended okay. And now we're finding ourselves basically in orbit around Mars. Probably the next day after sleeping off all the booze, for those that partook. What's everybody feeling like this morning?
Captain can't drink. She feels fine.
Yeah.
Seattle's making bacon and eggs for everyone.
Oh yeah, I remember that that threat.
Sparky's probably, I don't know, I feel like Sparky probably just slept in.
Actually, no. It's making bacon and eggs for everybody except for Sparky. Sparky is getting a yogurt smoothie.
I imagine that's good. I don't know what that tastes like, but I imagine.
It's basically like yogurt and banana stuff. It's easy on the stomach stuff that you're less likely to throw up with a hangover.
You're describing color to the blind here. I don't know.
All good.
But yeah, no, Sparky would take that after finally waking up. It's yeah.
Sweet and a little tangy.
Okay. I'm sure Sparky would like it.
That's
Yeah.
That's the most base flavors I can think of to describe.
Yeah,
that.
no, that's totally good.
Okay. Seth is fine. He only had one or two of those Jello shots, so I think he's up doing just maintenance on the engines and stuff now that he's learned a bit. Seattle, as you're finishing up the cooking, Daisy is nowhere to be found.
Seattle's making sure he goes and delivers her a plate.
Okay.
Seattle's gonna be dad.
Yeah, I figured. Her door is locked when you get to her quarters.
And he knocks on it.
From the other side, you hear, what?
Knocks on it.
What?
Knocks on it.
Stop yelling with your fist!
Knocks on it.
Oh, fuck, it's Dad. She literally rolls out of the bed. Has like a blanket over her, like a hood. Looks like something out of a horror movie. Just, bed head, this blanket over her head, looking like a Sith hood. And all the lights are out in the room. And
Seattle has brought a tray. There are crepes, bacon, and eggs. There's also a mug of ginger tea and a glass of orange juice.
That's very sweet. So Daisy opens the door, and Seattle's able to see this horror movie scene in front of him. And still with blanket hood in place, just two arms shoot out for the tray.
Seattle hands it over.
She takes it back into the room, sets it down. A bit lost on Seattle, but she's basically making gremlin noises. She's essentially a little goblin at this moment. Sets it down, turnarounds, and signs "Thank you." Appreciate it. Bye, and closes the door.
Yep. Seattle's just like, that felt really familiar.
All right. What's Annie doing this morning?
I figure Annie probably spends a little time sleeping in. But she feels fine. She didn't really have that much. The couple Jello shots, that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah, she kind of figures that there's not much reason for her to get up very early, so she just sleeps in probably.
Okay.
Like we have a job to do. Like,
Yeah. For once, there's no pressing thing that you have to do, or that you need to take care of. So hopping back to the bridge with Captain, you get the standard, flight control type message that, asks what you're doing in orbit, what your purpose is on Mars, and if you need somewhere to land.
I guess I'd contact Sparky, because I don't know where on Mars I'm going.
you and me both. So yeah, Sparky's like halfway through waking up. So they would groggily kind of answer like, what's up, Captain?
I need to know the purpose for our visit and where we're landing.
Visiting family and New Canaan, be on the southern hemisphere, I think.
Then I would report back familial visit, southern hemisphere, New Canaan.
On the other hand, you hear, just the sort of typing in noises of somebody. And after a few seconds, they go, "Oh, all right. I've got you entered in. You're cleared to land whenever you would like. And I will send you the coordinates now." And a couple seconds later, you get a little email type thing that says the longitude and latitude for not exactly like a full-on spaceport, more of just like a public landing spot. So it's a spot where you can safely land, but there's really not much in the way of facilities there.
So we found a dirt patch.
Pretty much a dirt patch that's been specifically cleared off and designated where to park.
Not a parking
A
dirt
municipal
patch.
airport.
Yeah, exactly.
Then yeah, I would just enter in those coordinates and land.
Okay. When you land, you see what looks like, well, a lot like southern Utah, actually.
Oh
It's obviously
God.
very, very red all over. It's been, it's been terraformed somewhat, so there's plants, but it's mostly sagebrush, cactus, arid environment flora. As well as like some ranches and farms and places like that. And then, Jay, is there anything else in the area other than that you had in mind for Sparky's place of origin?
No, that's about it. I think if anything, the major landmarks would probably be made of kind of like a silica metal mix, so they'd have like this glassy reflection to them, but otherwise that's about it.
Okay, nice. So yeah, that's what you see. Next to this parking spot is there are a couple like fueling stations. Your stereotypical like truck stop style gas station, but obviously scaled up a little bit for spaceships. The fuel's overpriced, as are most of the supplies that are at these places. But they're there and convenient. I think you all refueled when you were on Earth, so you're probably not doing too bad for fuel. You don't have to get gas here, but it's there if you want to. And there's a couple places where you can like rent a car. They're sort of like Star Wars land speeders, like think Star Wars: A New Hope, like Luke's land speeder, that sort of thing, except a little less sci-fi looking. More normal car inside, but it does have like a glass canopy that comes down, and that's how you get in and out. So those are your surroundings. What would you like to do?
I think Sparky would have a conversation with Annie, either right before they landed or kind of after they've landed, about the things that they've looked up.
Oh, you figure? Perhaps that would be a good idea, huh?
Listen, this is Sparky.
A little
It's always
bit?
after the fact. I just dropped the bombshell on Vanessa, so now the rest of you might get to hear it.
Gentle Christ. All right, let's
I'm
go.
sorry, were you under the impression it was a 5-pound dumbbell?
You know what? Let me make my eggs in peace. Let's just do that.
Okay, so yeah, Sparky would go and if Annie's in her room, they would seek her out there. If not, like just kind of ping her on the comms.
She's probably just still chilling out in her bedroom.
Okay.
So you can make your way there.
Yeah, so Sparky would kind of rap on the door like, "It's me, Sparky. Just wanted to go over kind of what we're doing here."
Yeah, she lets you in.
Okay.
She's all dressed and ready to go. She doesn't look like there's anything out of place. So
Yeah, so Sparky would close the door, and they're gonna switch off their comms, just for the time being. They don't say anything to Annie about it, but they kind of like do a little reset almost. So okay, so you remember?
Sorry, hold on. My Zoom just completely froze up. Did you say anything? Something about turning off comms and then it froze.
That was it.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
You're good. So, do you remember we looked up like when we were getting to kind of Earth and doing Seattle's business? Wasn't long ago. It was like a week, I think.
Annie kind of turns and she's like, I don't know, like brushing her hair or whatever, like just a simple motion. She's like, no, what did we look up again?
You're such a shit. Well, so because I was looking at stuff about my history, right? I wanted to go and find, if I had any family left over that wasn't cartel.
Right. Yeah.
And when you found that weird article about like a whole generation of missing people, and one of the pictures had a like vague photograph that looked a lot like Blister.
She's just kind of like French braiding her hair, very nonchalant, not really giving anything away. And she's like, you know what? That does ring a bell. I do vaguely remember that, yes.
And Sparky's doing everything but making eye contact with Annie. They're just like, oh wow, look at this room. Oh, ooh, I like the decor. So yeah, I think, I mean, like, if you're okay helping me with that, I need your help.
Right. So how long ago was it again? Sorry that you said they looked it up initially.
Like a week, I think is what it was.
Like a week?
Yeah.
All right. I would say in that case, if possible, Raven. Annie would have probably tried to dig up as far into that as possible to have it ready for Sparky. Because as much as she is a little shit, she's genuinely trying to help.
Oh yeah, no, she would do her homework 100%.
Yeah.
Let's do some rolls then. It's going to be tech engineering.
Shit, hold on, I've got a raw egg in my hand. Hold on.
No, I can look at your sheet if you want it.
No worries. I have a couple things to mention before you roll.
Cool.
So just as a reminder to cast, and to the audience as well, the cast currently has 8d6
Wow, really?
as a pool to work from. And 3 auto crits available. I have 3d6 and 4 auto crits available to use against
to all
you.
your dice? You had like 9.
I think we used a bunch of them like
Weird.
towards the end of the season last season.
I guess so, yeah.
Because I was like, this stockpile is getting too big. I'm just gonna start
Yeah.
using some of them. Anyways, so those are the things that we have to work with.
Wait, hold up. Vanessa, why did you have raw egg in your hand?
No. It was a raw egg. It was in the shell.
Oh, okay.
I'm
I was
making
I
eggs.
was like, what the fuck kind of eggs are you making?
Raven was like, yeah, let's roll. And I brought the raw egg out to my desk with me. So then I was like, wait a second.
What a good mental image.
Yeah, so sorry about that.
That's fine.
Sorry, Raven,
Oh my
did you say
God.
tech engineering
Tech,
is what
yeah.
I'm rolling?
Yes, tech engineering. And I was gonna say if anybody wants to give people advantage, disadvantage, that sort of thing, there's a whole little chart right below me that explains how to do that.
So that is a 36.
36. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Oh, it's okay. Like it's
all right.
like middling.
I mean, it's not a 45, but you know, it's okay, I guess. No, it's excellent. And specifics, what were you looking for?
So with that article, she would have basically, you know how if you're doing a project, you look at the Wikipedia page and then you look at all the sources and follow all those branches outward.
Yeah.
That's essentially what she's doing. So she's using this article as kind of like a foundation, a hub. You know, this is the first point of contact. And then she's trying to look up kind of branches of anything, any sort of information that's available within that, and seeing what kind of directions those go.
Okay, so with a 36, you do track down a few shell corporations that hold stakes or interests in trying to think of how to explain this as slowly unfolding instead of just a boom, this is what you found out. Certain biotechnology companies that have what's just listed as laboratories or research and development centers out in the boonies of Mars. So middle of nowhere, just this massive facility out in the desert, essentially, away from everything. Somebody in the kitchen's moving a chair.
I was like, is there a ghost? Where is it?
My recording booth is directly under the kitchen. So, anyways, so you find that out, and you find the location of a couple of them, which are not too far from where you are right now. And give me one more tech engineering roll.
That is a 39.
39. Okay. Would you like to use a d6?
Sure, if that's okay with everybody else.
Yep.
No,
Just-
it's a 40.
That's it. That's all you needed. I was gonna say you're
Oh,
literally
excellent.
one away from more information.
Perfect. All right, 40 then.
That's what I was like. You've got some to spare. So with a 40, you specifically find out that these biotechnology companies dealt in cloning and artificially, like artificial gestation and birth of humans. You had to do a lot of digging to find that. And it was behind a lot of shell corporation type deals, and like in the not the public facing sections of websites or databases or things like that. You had to like look for hidden folders and that sort of thing to find this out.
Mm-hmm.
But they were in operation roughly around Sparky's what, 21?
I think probably just about 21, not quite.
Okay. So they were in operation about 21 years ago, for sure. You're not sure if they're still doing that, but they definitely were doing that around 21 years ago.
Okay. So with all of that she kind of gathers step by step, she makes printouts of like every single step that she goes through. Because obviously not all of that information is important, but it could, I don't know, Sparky might like to see how point A to point B. So she prints out kind of like every single step, shows her workings, how she got there, what she found. And when Sparky brings up looking further into it, Annie kind of gives them a little bit of a knowing smile and kind of ties her braid off and then goes to her desk. Pulls open the little drawer and then pulls out the stack of papers that is kind of all that information compiled and brings it over and gives it to Sparky.
Okay. Sparky, in the process of reading this, goes from standing to kind of like sitting on the floor to kind of like hunched over as they're spreading all the articles out on the floor and looking at them. And
Everything is numbered for your convenience as well. If you'd like to reorganize the pages later, everything is numbered for you.
But they haven't said anything. They haven't said a single thing since you handed it to them.
Considering the fact that Annie knows exactly what is in those pages, she understands that quite well, and doesn't push Sparky. Just kind of lets them do what they have to do.
Okay.
Right through it all.
It takes about 10 minutes of kind of going back and forth over everything before they start organizing the papers back up. And they look at you. They look at you like they don't know you for a second. It kind of reminds you. Or would remind you of the first look they gave you when you all came out of the pods, and they don't look like they know themselves for a second. And
Annie's voice kind of softens a little bit, and she's like, "What's going through your head, Spark?"
A lot. Like a lot. Do we know? Is this all you found? Not like this isn't all. This is a lot. Do we have like a location or names? Anything specific? This is also.
Yeah, she comes over and sits down on the floor with you. And kind of flips through a couple of the pages until she lands on the information of the locations that she was able to pull, and kind of slides that back towards you.
Okay. Raven, is there any specific like locale that this place is, or is it just kind of like in the middle of nowhere, Mars?
Literally in the middle of nowhere, Mars, out past farmland.
Okay, gotcha. So really buttfuck.
There's. Like if you're looking at a satellite photograph type deal, you'll probably see like a small dirt road that just seems to go out for miles into the middle of nowhere. Yeah. And then it just abruptly ends at this place.
Wild. Okay. Do we have like a satellite image or anything?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, and you literally, if you wanted to, could have had Captain take some pictures from space because.
Oh, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. Doy. Like. You're in orbit, of course. Okay. I was thinking
You
we
are
just
the
looked it up
satellite.
on Google Mars. So yeah, Sparky
Yeah.
would. Sparky's gonna kind of just like gonna like half go in for a hug, you know, and you're going in, but you're like, hey, I'm doing this to see if you're okay with a hug. Kind of that like half motion,
Mhm.
just to see if Annie's okay with that. I'll try not to tear up.
Yeah, sure. Bring it on in. She
Okay.
she feels like this situation is kind of probably calls for some comfort. So
Thank
yeah,
you.
absolutely.
Yeah, so it's a short hug, but it's very much just like a, oh, okay, all right. And then Sparky just kind of like switches their comms back on and messages the whole crew. And is like, meet in the mess hall in like 20. I've got news and maybe a mission, and that's it. And they're just gonna kind of sit on the floor for a few minutes before they get up.
Annie kind of looks at you after you send the message, and she says, you know, you don't have to tell them anything that you don't want to tell them. We're probably gonna go do it anyway.
I know. I don't know that I'm gonna tell them everything. I don't even know if I believe everything. I don't even know what everything is.
Well, I mean, if we think about it, you could always make up a code word. And if you get too overwhelmed, you can say the code word, and I will change the topic of the conversation very sneakily and stealthily and put them off the trail. It could be something that is totally able to be worked into regular conversation, like kumquat, perhaps. I don't know, totally up to you, Spark.
What about Rip? As a code word, not as like what is he doing? Because
Annie kind of her smile kind of falters a little bit, and then she kind of puts it back into place.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, yeah, I mean, I'm sure if we use that as a code word, we can definitely steer the conversation that way.
What is wrong with this kid? Like, I'm not choosing this shit. They're just coming out of my mouth, and I'm like, wait. No, don't use your arch nemesis as a code word. Anyway,
all I can
meanwhile,
think about
Annie's
right
sitting
now,
there with a smile on her face. She's like, fuck.
yeah, she's like, what the fuck is happening?
all I can think of right now, because you said kumquat, is just citrus pun. That's just a thing.
Oh no, yeah, this whole plan's a lemon. So yeah, they'd kind of just nod. You know, like if it doesn't work, I'll think of a different one. But I think you could
Okay.
I could fit Rip into a sentence.
So for clarification, the code word is Rip.
And Sparky kind of like tenses for just a second, like, yep, yep.
Annie does one of those nods. It's like, okay, yes, all right,
Yeah.
that's what we're going with.
This is totally reasonable.
We'll set the crew off in a different way by mentioning everybody's favorite guy, but it's fine. No, she stands up and kind of dusts herself off a little bit, and then holds her hand out for you to stand as well.
Yep, Sparky takes it. And they'll like if Annie's coming with, then they'll kind of lead the way. But if Annie's gonna wait a minute, then they'll just head to the mess.
Yeah, Annie comes with. She kind of points to the papers and she's like, "What do you want me to keep hold of these? Like, what would you like me to do with this?"
Yeah, if you don't mind keeping hold of them. I don't think I'll tell the crew much. Just, you know, maybe I'm looking for family kind of thing.
For sure.
Might get busy with the cartel, but I don't. I'd rather keep this between us.
Yeah, that's totally fine. I got you. And she picks up the papers and puts them back in the drawer.
Okay. Nothing like keeping secrets from your family. So yeah, they'll head to the mess then.
Listen, it's not a secret if you have to process it first. It's totally up to you what you tell other people.
No, that's still a secret. It's just a process secret. It's like sliced cheese versus a block.
Yes, absolutely.
It all comes back to cheese.
How secrets work. Everything's cheese all the way down. 100 years of working cheese. Unraveling. Yeah, so if everyone else goes to the mess, then that's where Sparky and Annie are going to be.
Oh my god. It took me a minute to get the reference.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And then it just hit me. I was like, oh my god. That was amazing. Sorry. That hit different. All right, so I think at this point, everyone's had enough time to get ready for the day, eat food, etc. So everybody's getting ready to leave the ship. You've got Seth that's pretty much set up with like canvas cargo pants. But they're the like really fancy ones like that you would go hiking in. Basically looks like he's ready for like desert covert ops essentially. Because this is not terribly unlike the area where he grew up in the cartel camp. So he's all set. Looks probably the least nervous you've ever seen him. Meanwhile, Daisy has like khaki shorts on, with like a green crop top, and really dark aviators, which she has on inside the ship, and in a backpack. And then V, how would Liam be dressed for an outing on Mars, do you think?
Ooh, good question. Annie nor Liam have never been to Mars. So do with that what you will. I don't know. He's a kid who has stowed away on their ship for all this time. I don't know what he has.
I'm guessing maybe he's got like jean shorts, a t-shirt.
Oh, we're absolutely not giving Liam jorts. No. Liam
Like
is
denim?
Annie's brother, ma'am. There are no jorts in this family.
Blue jean denim shorts, like normal length jean shorts. Is that
This
a
is
weird thing?
Yes, this is a 17-year-old kid. Why is he wearing jorts?
It's coming back
mean-
into fashion.
I mean, I still wear denim shorts. I wore denim shorts all through my entire life. When it was hot.
Jean shorts are like the easiest shorts to own because you just gotta wear a pair of jeans into submission.
Coming next season.
You're not wrong.
It's the war on jorts.
If that would be weird, then just
he's definitely more of a pant kid. Just,
okay.
You know
then
what?
just
He's not
pants.
prepared for the heat of Mars. I don't know. It just fucking.
I was just making sure that we were on the same page. Cause like he's not wearing like Daisy Duke shorts or anything like that.
Ah, yes. Let us put the kid in the booty shorts.
Yeah, it's not like that. So I was making sure that like we're talking about the same type of shorts. All right, fine. Blue jeans then.
Sure.
And a t-shirt with probably like, I don't know, like a short sleeve button up linen shirt over the t-shirt, something like that, and hiking boots.
Sure.
How about everybody else? How is everyone else prepared for this?
Seattle actually went and looked up a tourist guide to Mars and like what sort of clothing to dress yourself in and stuff. So Seattle's wearing a long sleeve silk shirt. It's one of his nicer ones, also with a silk scarf and goggles. and a set of like fairly light fabric pants, and his work boots. Unfortunately, doesn't have a backpack or something called a fanny pack, but Sparky does. So borrows a fanny pack from Sparky that completely does not go with the outfit.
I'm
It is
sorry.
the brightest thing you've ever seen. It's
Did you
beyond.
just assume that Sparky has a fanny
I
pack?
know Sparky does because it's been in one of his on one of their outfits.
I'm offended that I did that to myself then.
I was gonna say it has been established that Sparky owns at least one fanny pack.
Oh, I am upset. Okay. You're gonna have to point that outfit out to me at some point.
It was like one of the first outfits.
You can
Way
keep it.
early in the campaign.
Okay.
First handful of episodes of season 1.
Oh,
is when that
all
came
of
up.
my '90s embarrassment just came back in a flash.
We'll just pretend that it was for the purpose of like blending in. That's the only way Sparky had it, was just for blending in.
Really hope so.
Well,
It was
now
sort of a disguise.
Seattle's wearing it unironically.
You can keep it, my friend. That is a gift. God, I don't know why I got so upset about that. That's just
It's okay.
oh, got me all fired up. So
It
it's
just started.
got me started. Oh,
I've been sitting on that.
you're so awful. I love it. So yeah, Sparky's wearing kind of what they found was like, even it may be old news for fashion, but it's one of those like quote unquote holographic transparent fabric outfits. So like the skirt and the top are both like not fully transparent, but they've got a bunch of reflective. I'll post a link, but it's very much like wearing almost like a bathing suit underneath really, really light, breathable kind of plastic outerwear, because that's
Okay.
that's what helps with the sand.
Is it like a sheer type of material?
It's more
but
like
also reflective?
it's actually more like a raincoat material, so not quite like wax canvas,
Oh!
but kind of.
I know what you're
what
talking
I'm
about,
Yeah.
Okay.
Ah, yes, the sand.
I'll link a thing.
The coarse and irritating.
It's actually a very fine sand, I'll have you know.
Yeah, which makes it
It
worse
is.
because it gets into more places.
It's
Just
true.
gets everywhere. How many games can we squeeze that joke into?
I know, right?
Every game.
Fuck's sake.
As many as I can manage.
Vanessa is there, and Sand has mentioned that line is happening.
But yes, that's what Sparky's wearing, and they have geared themselves up really lightly. They're not really. I don't think they would bring their gun. Actually, they would bring their like kind of stun baton, because it's less like a dangerous weapon that you would need a license for. Less.
That's a good point as well. Daisy does have the EMP gun, but it's in her backpack.
Okay.
And it's like a small backpack.
And I am still bringing the comms blocker and the small scale EMP because we didn't use that on the heist.
That's true.
So Huck
Uh,
knows what we're getting
alright.
into, but
and Captain, so you would probably be aware of the excuse me, the nature of the sand on Mars, that it is very fine, and it can be somewhat problematic for machinery. It's the like out of the blue dust storms and windstorms and things like that have been largely dealt with via terraforming process stuff. So it's not like super harsh environment, but it's probably some concern since you do have like open arms. So with that in mind, what would the captain how would the captain prepare for this tourist mission?
Captain would wear something similar to what you might see someone wear in like the UAE. Like
Okay.
long linen, covers the arms, covers the legs. She probably has some kind of loose-fitting pant beneath it. Sensible shoes, and a type of glove to cover her hands, but all in a very light linen, and then a sun hat.
Adorable. All right. And I started to ask, is Captain taking any weapons? And then I quickly remembered, like, oh right, Captain's
Captain's
a weapon.
taking herself.
Yeah. Also, we hit 5 retweets on the game tweet, so that is a d6 to the cast. If you haven't retweeted and or replied to that tweet, you can do so there in chat, because when we hit 10, I get a d6. And then other things happen at 15 and 22, which is always fun. But yeah, the cast gets a d6, so you're back at 8. And then finally, Annie. What's Annie's outfit for this excursion?
Jesus, that's a good question. I feel like she would just kind of see what everybody else is doing and then match as closely to that as possible. It's probably something close to what she would typically wear outside of like the fancy missions. So just like very simple, she doesn't opt for any bright colors. She doesn't want to draw any unnecessary attention or anything like that. It's just kind of basic, like think 2 from Dark Matter kind of deal.
Okay.
Yeah.
The how did Sparky put it? The classy, sexy outfit.
Sure.
All right. All right. Cool. So you're all able to leave the ship. I presume that you lock it. Yeah. The rooster, and the cheese cooler are guarding it now.
Top of the line security. We want nothing but the best.
I think Seth and Liam will probably kind of want to head out on their own, just looking around like the truck stop. And
What, you think this is a tourist trip?
it's literally what everybody said it was.
I know. It's just in the back of Sparky's mind, like, fucking
right.
Annie does the mom thing where she like points her fingers towards her own eyes and then towards Liam. She's like, you better check in with me. Like, don't go too far. Like, don't lose comms. Check in at every moment, like, I better not need to come get your ass and drag you back to the ship.
I imagine Liam just does like the like Harrison Ford playing Han Solo in Return of the Jedi, just like the arms out, like, hey, it's me, what are you worried about? Sort of smirk and then runs off. And
under her breath, she's just like, you're related to me. That's what I'm worried about.
But Seth and Liam probably go to like the tourist trap, like exotic Mars petting zoo thing, which has probably normal farm animals that have just been painted different colors, or like little antenna headbands glued onto their heads or something like that. So that they're off doing that. What is everybody else doing now that you're on the ground? We've established how you're geared out. And also, Sparky, are you telling people where you're wanting to go to check this out?
Yeah, it's going to be kind of the first stop, I would say, if not for the whole group, then at least some of us, is like a registrar's office, almost like a public records office kind of thing, if there is one, or like a terminal that we could access, send public records, just to kind of look up where the addresses are and see if there's any other related leads. So information gathering, really.
Yeah, there's
I would probably go there.
Okay.
Seattle's planning on sticking close to Sparky because Sparky just helped Seattle through his own issues.
There's probably an office several miles out towards the more urban areas, city populated areas. I couldn't think of the word. So there's probably one out there, but there is a terminal here where you could access it if you just want to do it digitally. What exactly are you looking for?
Sparky's mostly looking for if there's been any cartel activity in the last like 3 to 6 months, kind of like thinking about their old shell companies, almost like looking for kind of, let's say, quote unquote obvious tells that there's been a cartel activity. If not that, then looking for anything mentioning Blister or let's see, I'm trying to think if there's any. What other names do you think might have popped up, Raven, on that article? So I'm trying to think what else we could go after.
Just Shell Corporation names, names that you're not sure how you know, but you just know are connected to the cartel.
Okay.
So
kind of
it's
like,
not,
they have no connections, but ooh, that's a thought.
Yeah, sort of that like when you can't really remember a phone number, but when you get a keypad in front of you, you can.
The muscle memory. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you can dial it. It's that sort of sensation that you get, and you like. I have no idea how this is connected. I just know that they are.
Gotcha.
And yeah, some of those definitely pop up. A couple of them on, excuse me, that big complex that you saw that's in your area.
Okay.
As far as activity goes, let's do a tech engineering roll to see if you can dig into some deeper information.
Can anyone aid me on that?
Annie will absolutely aid you if she is able.
Yeah,
Captain
absolutely.
might be able to. Let me look. Am I any good with that?
I think you are.
I would hope so.
Yeah, you are the tech.
Yeah, I could help.
Is it just one person helping Raven, or is it? Or do you want this as like we're all going to different spots even?
I'll just say you can all roll, but if anybody rolls a nat 1, that's going to affect things. If anybody rolls
That's
a nat
fair.
20, that's going to affect things.
That's fair.
Otherwise, we'll just take the
What am I
highest
rolling?
roll it and
tech
take
engineering.
the help into account.
Okay.
Yeah, tech
All I
engineering.
can say is thank God. I didn't roll a nat 1, but I sure as hell rolled a fucking 2.
You
So
literally
it's-
have plus 20 to your roll, though.
Yeah, so it's 22.
Okay.
Like, oh my god.
Hey, Seattle got a
33.
33. So kind of going with the average of all these rolls and
Mhm.
considering there's a 33 in there. Yeah. You know that the that particular facility was shut down about about 16 years ago. And has been largely abandoned. But there has been some activity recently, like within the last couple of weeks. Not like supplies going in, but just like requests for access. Some like empty cargo vessels, so like the sci-fi equivalent of an 18-wheeler or something like that have been sent out there. That's all you know.
Okay, well that's actually really good because I was worried it was still in operation. I was like, I don't want to pretend that we're here to do business when we're not here to do business. Okay. Yeah, so Sparky's gonna tell everyone like, okay, cool. Now I guess since it's not super busy, we can kind of go check it out without having to worry too much, though. It's, there's been people out there, so maybe there's people still there. Do you all have any questions for me? I know I kind of brushed over a lot of it.
What exactly it is we're looking for? Do you have family here?
Yeah.
You told me it was a familial visit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't remember their name, but I had an uncle here, and I know that. I just don't know. I don't know his name because it's not.
Do you remember any smells?
That is true. Humans are very attached to their smells.
Kind of. Hold on, I am actually looking.
Or your
like-
brains are. I did not mean to imply you had an emotional attachment to smells.
I mean, I cry when I smell like lemons. Anyway, I remember. Yeah, no, there is a smell, like spicy, kind of like almost like hot peppers.
Are hot peppers indigenous to this planet?
Seattle's gonna look up where the local spice markets are.
I don't know if they're indigenous. I mean, we can check the net, but I don't.
If possible,
Think so.
Raven, Seattle's gonna look up where like the local spice markets are.
Yeah. And by spice, I presume you mean like the cooking sense, not like the.
Oh yeah, no,
sci-fi
no,
drug sense, right?
no.
No,
I would say
Weird.
I would say drug
everywhere.
market. I
It's
would
just
say
everywhere,
drug market.
because it flows.
Okay.
It's like rivers.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'm sure there's a mine somewhere on this planet.
Mhm, yeah.
Anyways, yeah, there's. Well, I guess I should say, are you looking for like consumer end spice market or like commercial industrial end, like where it's
Consumer
like
end.
factories or okay, like a farmer's market type
Yeah,
type.
that
of
would
thing.
be a good place to start.
Like the oh, what are they called?
Also, if we take Sparky to a spice market, we can figure out, like, by going through the smells, which one exactly it is. Like with the cheese.
Oh my god,
I'm not a scent hound. Like,
there actually would be a farmer's market pretty regularly right here because what little tourism they do
Right.
get, they want to sell their goods too.
yeah.
So there's probably several booths that have different spices and things like that. Mars, while having an arid environment, I'd say is probably known for like greenhouse technology. So they're able to grow virtually anything on the planet, even though the outside surroundings are kind of harsh. So yeah,
Souk.
this farmers market
That's
has
the word I
just-
was looking for. A souk.
Oh yeah.
A what now?
A souk. It's a type of
Oh,
like
the
open
clothes.
air. No,
No,
it's a
yeah.
type of open air market specifically known for in the Middle East, and they have just spices. Anything you would want to buy,
Mhm.
you would find at a souk.
Oh, okay. I'm with you now. My
Yeah,
brain's
that's
like
that's
running
exactly
all
what
over
what
the
I'm
place.
thinking. That's
for
exactly what I'm
context.
thinking of actually.
Sorry, my
That-
brain
that
went
was-
somewhere else.
That was
good.
that
You're
was the
good.
specific type of market I was talking about.
Yeah, I was like the
Yes.
gold something. It's in Dubai. It's the gold souk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
Okay.
Any food you can think of is there, or any plant
Mhm.
based food.
Cool. Okay.
Well, Sparky also promised Captain that he would show her, or
Yeah,
they
yeah.
would show her the food
Yeah.
of Mars, because we had a long conversation about it while hiding from cops.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's here. It's within walking distance. There's, as I mentioned, there's also the place where you can rent a car equivalent. What's the conversation you're having? Where are you going?
Yeah,
first?
I'm just trying to.
Seattle's trying to explain to Sparky the idea of get through the spice market, figure out if something in there triggers with the smell.
Okay, but what if, like,
That's
how-
what
how's
happened
that
for me
gonna-
with the cheese.
The cheese didn't lead you to your dead husband's grave, though.
It
Like
acted
you-
as a catalyst.
I'm not gonna say no because I do want to, I want.
We don't know if this uncle's dead.
No, we don't. But it's it's dead or alive. I don't think smelling hot peppers is gonna lead me to him.
Is this uncle's name Tommy, by the way?
No.
Like-
Uncle Tommy doesn't live on
Uncle-
fucking
like-
Mars. Are you kidding me?
Just
Did you live in this fucking
trust
dirt
me on
box?
this. Just let us try this.
okay, but I'm getting silkworm milk over here.
I didn't quite hear that.
It's all
Out of
good.
character.
It's totally fine. Sparky said I'm getting silkworm milk while I'm here.
Like,
Daisy
Seattle
kind of
doesn't even look grossed out.
Daisy just chimes in, like, still very much has the sunglasses on and is very quiet, and is just like, does that come in like latte form?
It's a latte.
Coffee with hot milk.
Oh, probably. Yeah. No, I think that would.
Okay, let's do that.
May I ask a question?
Sure.
Why are humans so fascinated with consuming dairy products other than their own?
They taste good.
Do human dairy products not?
Not unless you're a baby.
Why would that matter? Why would it matter?
Sparky's just gonna start kind of slow walking in the direction of the soup.
Seattle's going to give the captain a detailed explanation on human breast milk.
Touch that one.
Daisy's gonna like
And mention about talks about breastfeeding Daisy.
It's just a second. I can clear this up. Captain? She's just gonna like put her arm around the captain's shoulder.
Captain's going to look at the arm. Then look at Daisy.
Daisy's like, human taste buds change as we get older. So sometimes things that tasted good as an infant don't taste good anymore, and other things. And then she'll just like slide her arm off and then start walking.
Captain's going to say out loud, not to particularly anyone. So when a cow gets older, do they seek human milk?
Sparky kind of gives this really awful groan, like about a meter ahead. It's just like, nope. No, they don't. I hope they don't. Do they?
Captain has a lot to think about.
Seattle's like, we'd have to look that up.
The cow goes, moo, your milk. Fuck. Oh, I didn't think I'd have these questions on my mind tonight. It's gonna keep me up. So yeah, I'll give you kind of the few things that I thought up, Raven, for world building on Mars, because I needed some. Bug milk, which is mostly silkworm milk, but they occasionally have like kind of like arthropods, just like large beetles essentially that they can milk, quote unquote. Flash frozen foods, like we were talking about, it's like deep frying but with liquid nitrogen instead, so it's like a nice like crunchy cold outside and then like a kind of warm inside. It's like a reverse toffee apple. Yeah,
That's kind of cool.
yeah. And then there are also fried fossae, which are called amber emus here. Fossae are large, I think, marsupials. I looked this up and then I forgot exactly what they are, but it's basically like the equivalent of street meats. It's not a very good meat, but it's kind of it's like a cheap, here, have this thing. You're eating garbage meat, but you don't know that because you're a dumb tourist.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, okay, so they are just emus, but they're called fossae here. I got the two things mixed up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Emus are terrifying.
Yeah, they are.
Except for Stanley.
You're all walking towards this open air farmer's market, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, you get there. There are, like, relatively for this area, a lot of people there. So that's like.
Thank you!
Hey, thank you so much for that tier 3 sub, admin. Thank you so much. If I recall correctly, that means you've got access to an asset or a challenge that you can hand out. The asset going to the cast, where they can choose a single-use item or environmental situation or scenario that makes this session easier for them, and a challenge being me being able to do an environmental hazard or something else that makes the session a little bit harder for the cast. But yes, thank you. Yes, challenge. Okay, cool. So I get to make things a little more challenging for the cast. This is exciting.
Don't read the Zoom chat, Raven. Don't do it.
Too late. Okay. So, not to
Why
give
do
too
I
many
have the
spoilers.
worry that RIP isn't going to be a code word anymore? Why do I
Raven's
feel like
not
that just
mean.
I was just
just
writing
bumped
that.
up?
I will tell you this: the challenge is not going to be RIP. Not to give away too many spoilers, but just in case admin has to go before we get to that point, or we don't get to it this session. Remember how I said that the terraforming had gotten rid of sandstorms and dust storms and things like that? That oh, thank you.
Sorry, I meant acid.
Well, thank you so much, admin. So you all get an asset as well, but the environment is going to be harsher than it was going to be originally. So just be forewarned. Your surroundings are about to get a lot harsher. Thanks so much, admin. I appreciate it. We're gonna go on break here in about 10 minutes. So go ahead and start thinking, and then discuss on break what you want your asset to be. But anyways,
do we get to choose, or is that admin that?
you do.
Oh,
Collectively, the cast chooses what you want your asset to be.
Oh, shit. I don't know. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So you get to this open air market, and as I said, there's relatively speaking quite a few people there. So probably like 1 to 2 dozen people milling about, in addition to the people tending the booths. And as I said, there's just about everything you could want. There are all sorts of produce, different types of squash, leafy vegetables, beans, peas, you name it, you can find it. There is a coffee booth, which Daisy promptly goes to, without checking to see where you all go. Just beeline, that's where she's spending some time. And there's a rather large spice booth where it's looks like they've taken up about 4 of the regular sized booths, and sort of just like smushed them all together. And it's like this semicircle 6-level shelf full of just various spices and herbs.
All right. Sparky starts kind of sniffing around really carefully, just seeing what does anything to the brain. And I'll message you kind of what the sense memory is in private, Raven, just so you have a context.
Okay.
But yeah, I would say it's probably a very specific hot pepper, not like Carolina Reaper, but like just a specific type of pepper.
Okay.
I don't know, but I don't know, peppers, whatever kind of hot pepper there is. I don't know.
Maybe like a Scotch bonnet or something.
The kind that are hot.
Basically what Vanessa said, yeah, just give me the kind of hot ones.
Different kind of hots, though.
Is this what you're asking, like in character to the person tending the booth, or is this just what Sparky's looking for?
I think Sparky would be asking Seattle, just kind of like
yeah, and Seattle's trying to like trying to help, but doesn't know. He knows salt and pepper pretty good.
Isn't Seattle the cook on the ship?
Yeah, but he's been making fairly simple meals, except for the pig. He makes like pancakes for y'all.
Okay. So with that in mind,
He makes like
do you
omelets
do, Sparky?
and crepes, and that's about it. He makes breakfast food.
Sparky just starts picking some of them up and smelling them.
All right.
Seeing if anything kind of clicks.
After a little bit, I think you find a couple of different spices that seem very familiar. When you sniff them, you have this like vague sense of not quite nostalgia,
But like familiarity.
yeah, like when you like half remember something from your childhood that wasn't necessarily like a great memory, but maybe not a horrible memory either.
Yeah, it's still like, oh yeah.
Like just a time when you felt like stressed or maybe a little uncomfortable as a child.
Okay.
Is sort of that's feeling that you get. And they are smoked paprika, cayenne, and chili powder.
Seattle's gonna ask the spice merchant something once Sparky figures that out.
Okay, yeah, like Sparky's demeanor changes. They keep going back and forth between these
Yeah.
three. They're not like dipping their fingers in, but they're just like,
No. Seattle's for one gonna get some of each of those three,
Okay.
so we can have them if we need to. But Seattle's also gonna ask the spice merchant what dishes use those three ingredients.
The spice merchant just sort of like scratches the back of his head a little bit. Like, well, I mean, what dishes don't use those around here at least? You got your bean chili, you've got your meat chili, you've got your
Chili
what do
chili.
they call them? When it's like I forget what it's called on Earth, but around here we just call them cheesy chilies. You get a chili and you open it up, put meat and cheese on it, and melt it. Let's see. That uses that. Tacos, burritos, hot sauce. Hot sauce uses that. All three
Sparky.
of those.
I feel like Sparky has like this weird taste memory as this guy is describing these different recipes. They're like, why do I know what these taste like? They just kind of like smacking their lips every now. Like, I've never eaten these. What is this?
Let's do a.
Were we doing education for?
Yeah, I was gonna
I
say
think-
this might be a gut feeling, but I think more education on this one.
Okay. Could I add my profession, culinary?
No. Oh,
Okay.
culinary? Yes.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
thought
is that
you
how
were
it
gonna
was-
say
that was pronounced?
assassin. I was like, no.
Yeah. Can I add my assassin training to this? I once killed a man with cumin. So-
I forgot you had training in culinary also.
yeah, no, I do. 19. It's a 19.
When he says hot sauce, you have a little bit of a memory spark, if you will, that you do remember tasting these three different flavors or these different smells with vinegar. So maybe it was a hot sauce that you're remembering, not necessarily these individual spices. But it also feels like something's missing. Like these three things in vinegar it's not the whole puzzle.
Okay. Yeah, Sparky's gonna ask about that. Like, do you ever like mix these with like vinegar and something else, like a maybe a paste or like a dressing?
Oh yeah, you can mix these with vinegar and make barbecue sauce or hot sauce if you added some other types of peppers with it. You could make chili paste if you wanted to, also with these.
What kind of peppers? Do you have them around?
Is there a particular type of pepper that Sparky
Just pick
used to
whatever.
prepare?
Honestly, doesn't matter to me.
We'll go with Anaheim's because they're one of my favorites.
Okay.
Yeah. You could do Anaheim's, or if you're more adventurous, you could do some of the hotter peppers like habaneros or Carolina Reapers or or I guess on Mars they might just call them Earth Reapers.
Yeah, basically. State
Um,
Reapers.
What's an Anaheim?
An Anaheim chili?
It's a
No,
green
I mean
pepper.
like
No, yeah,
on
like
Mars.
Oh,
distance,
yeah.
Like,
What would
Oh.
an Anaheim pepper be to them?
well, I believe it's where the mighty ducks came from at some point. They were this strange race of mutated fowl. Anyway, lose my shit over here.
I wouldn't believe everybody who tells you those stories though, Sparky. I hear they're all a bunch of quacks.
To jail with you. No more. No more. Yeah, I guess that's mostly what Sparky's doing, is just looking up.
I'll keep it in mind, Edmund.
Oh my god. Yeah, just looking around for more of those peppers and kind of just seeing if anything in here like jogs their memory about this uncle, like seeing, smells, faces, voices, anything like that.
Yeah, you're able to, as you're looking around different booths and things, you find some of those peppers, and that sense of sort of neutral to slightly stressful nostalgia just increases, which of course with Sparky probably means their anxiety increases, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's like a normal day. Okay.
Yeah, but you do get a little bit of like some happy memories associated with it as well. Hey, thanks. For some cumin advantage with the hot sauce.
Oh my god.
Is that an advantage to Sparky then? Excuse me, I'm assuming. Yep. Okay. Cool.
Oh,
So
thank you so much, Michael.
So Jay, you've got advantage on your next roll.
Cool. I have a funny feeling I'll need it.
Yeah.
Like
so
I'm on Tinderhooks over here.
the memories that you have are yeah, you feel like it's associated with some family member or somebody that you were close to.
Okay.
You get a vague sense of this person being like the strict, gruff relative that was always a little bit hard on you, but maybe you also had some fond memories of them as well.
Okay.
You don't really remember specific things, but you get those emotions around them.
Okay. Yeah, I guess Sparky's just gonna kind of keep that in their back pocket then for now.
Okay.
But they are going to show the rest of the crew like the stuff that they've been researching is, Mars delicacies or like cuisine.
Oh,
Because
that's
they
a
don't
good
fucking
point.
know.
That's a good point too. Given all the research that you put together and how much thought you're putting into this, you'd probably put two and two together. That you do recall that there is a farm that grows Anaheim peppers very near that research place that you were also looking into.
Huh.
So like all the ingredients for this are grown very close to
Very
where
like
that complex is.
coincidentally close, one might
Yeah.
say. Okay.
Like for
Yeah,
example, and I'm just throwing this out there. Maybe it happened, maybe it didn't. Maybe say perchance, you and a certain relative might have been able to, hop fences and steal a little bit of ingredients and go make hot sauce.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I'm in for that. Got to start them young. So yeah, okay. So once that kind of clicks, kind of midway through showing the crew how to eat a flash frozen apple or something like that, maybe a flash frozen what's a good hardy desert fruit that isn't disgusting?
Prickly pear cactus.
Ooh, that could do.
Those are pretty good.
Or maybe a kiwi with the skin on.
Yes.
Yes.
Get out.
Interesting.
Disgusting.
Nah.
I mean,
I believe
raw,
that was
that
last
sounds
session. Yeah.
absolutely horrible. But if it was flash frozen, and
Yeah,
it's,
because then the skin
doesn't-
would be like kind of crunchy.
yeah, instead of fuzzy and wrong.
So I would like to formally announce that this is going to be my last session.
She's leaving the country.
I'd like to formally announce that I will be joining Vanessa.
Oh, More kiwis.
See you guys on future projects.
Yeah.
Sorry, bye.
I can't stand them. The seed
It's okay.
texture,
I totally get
the
it.
airiness.
I'm just doing it to grind the old gears. But yeah, that
Leftover
would be
culinary differences.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, in the middle of trying to show them that, Sparky kind of puts two and two together. Why is it never 1 and 1 together, by the way? Why is it always 2 and 2? Anyway,
I don't know.
it's
That's a good question, though.
it's just
I'm
weird.
legitimately curious now.
So putting those two together, Sparky's like, I think we need to make a stop on the way to the like the lab place, because there's a place I think nearby that it was showing that like it grew these. I have like a memory of like hopping a fence and then running away from angry farmer drones. Yeah, we gotta make just a stop off. But yeah, anyway, like the skin will get like crackly. It's kind of like pastry when you eat it if you want to. They're just awkwardly like trying to get people to eat flash frozen kiwi.
Seattle will eat them.
Okay.
Because Seattle doesn't mind hairy balls.
Oh, is that why? Oh.
CD hairy balls.
How about that? How about them pork chops though?
So as I was going to say,
Yeah.
around that time, Daisy does come back
Okay.
with the largest travel
Like
or
a
largest like
mug, like
yeah, it's like those to-go paper cups that you normally see coffee in, but it's just massive. It's like a thermos, not a cup.
lower gravity will do that to you.
So she comes over, still very hungover, and it's just like, so, what's up with the spices? What are we doing? Is that a flash frozen kiwi?
Yeah, no, it's really good. Do you want some?
I mean, I guess if it's flash frozen, it might be okay. She'll, it's like normally they're like hairy and that like gross. But she'll take it, she'll try it. She's like, it's not bad.
Cool. That's it. That's all I had for that bit. But yeah, Sparky would kind of detail the same thing. Like there's a farm. I think they grew the kind of peppers that are making my memories come back, and it's near the lab. So I think we should go there.
Okay. Sounds good. Drink it from the cup.
Yeah. It's obvious Sparky is being awkward about something, more so than usual. It's not like they're not letting on about something. It's like they're just like they're waiting for something. Yeah. So this is mostly for the crew, just so that they know kind of what Sparky's up to.
Yeah, Daisy's not picking up on it.
Yeah.
She's too hungover.
She's like, yeah, Sparky's being awkward. Don't fix her up.
Yeah, I don't figure Sparky will tell them in Sparky's own time.
That's fair.
Yeah.
It's not good, but it's fair. Yeah, that's all I have though. If we want to do break
Okay.
now, that's fine.
Yeah. I was going to say, if you're wanting to head out that way, then I presume you'll want to rent a speeder.
I figured we
And
just
just
get
to
sand shoes.
It's a long walk.
I was going to actually suggest for our advantage is if we could have a cruiser that is better built to withstand sandstorms.
I think most
Like a
of the
sport
women are.
utility speeder instead of a
Yes.
regular speeder.
Like the Humvee. Give us the Humvee.
Yes, we'll be riding in a sus.
Yep.
God.
There's nowhere to vent on this map, though.
Uh,
Sure.
yeah, I'm.
If that's okay with everybody else,
Yeah.
though, that was my suggestion for it.
As long as that doesn't nullify the challenge, that's fine by me.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
no.
don't worry.
Okay.
Oh gosh, no. I just said something better against, not
Mhm.
not immune to.
Okay.
Oh, don't worry at all. So yeah, when you go to rent the speeder, there's like the normal one, and then right as like you're about to like sign off on it,
Mm-hmm.
the guy behind the counter goes, "Oh, you know what? You all seem adventuresome sort. Maybe you'd prefer what we've got in the back room."
What is this?
He
guy on
takes you to like,
commission?
yes, actually. So he takes you to like the back showroom, which has a whole bunch of more like off-road type stuff. And yeah, it's basically like a Humvee version of a hover Humvee,
Good for the whole
uh,
family.
an HHV instead of just an HV. Um,
You can
So,
fit so much bullshit in this thing.
it does have a surprisingly large amount of storage. It keeps talking about it, like telling you how it's got this like anti-clog ventilation system, so the engine won't clog up if you get into too much dust, and kind of punctuates every feature with, and yet a surprising amount of storage.
All I can think is this guy slipping up and being like, a surprising amount of storage. Would you imagine you could fit 6 bodies horizontally in the back of the thing and you're laying down and you're camping? Like normally sells the cartel and he's just like, oh.
Yeah. You could fit 6 whole body people sleeping.
People's
Napping.
bodies.
Yeah. Probably something like that, yeah. Anyways, sorry. Something stuck in my
You're good.
tooth. Make a long story short, he goes through the whole spiel and you get something that's way better. And since money's not currently a problem for you, I'm not even like tell you a price or anything.
I was
You
wondering,
just-
I was like, we haven't really done money in a while, so
you all have so much freaking money right now.
we do. Yeah, it's true.
Between what Daisy gave us and the heists we've been pulling off.
Yeah. And you're not really like focusing on like new ships or like big system upgrades.
We
So
don't want to we don't want to lose our ships.
no, that's
It's our
totally fair.
ship.
Totally fair.
Keep trying to get us to upgrade her.
I'm not saying you gotta get a new ship. I'm just saying like you could have like more than one ship if you wanted. Just as a thought. Or, you know, like upgrades to the current ship that aren't
Multiple
cheese-making
cheese
factories.
coolers.
anyways, yeah, you get this speeder. Who all, just to confirm, who all is going on this crazy trip?
Yeah, solid question.
Annie's
Everyone-
going.
Everyone here tonight.
Okay.
I'm interested.
Daisy's going as well. I will let you answer this question, Vanessa, because I feel like Annie would have more say on if it happens or not. Are Seth and Liam joining you, or are they staying on the ship?
Annie's instinct is to say Liam is not coming. But then she's like, I can't tell Liam that he's not allowed to go and then say, come along, Seth. So she tells them both to stay.
And
Okay.
can't invite the dog and not invite the kid. Like,
That's so mean.
it is mean, but also we kind of treat him like a dog.
You
You're not
better
wrong.
be specific with that we, because Annie certainly doesn't.
We collectively.
I mean,
Those are her
That-
2 little brothers.
I don't know. Does she though?
favoritism.
She
Little bit
has
of favoritism.
she has a favorite.
Yeah, I'm just teasing. So yeah, they of course promise that they'll stay on the ship, and of course they do not, but they don't get in any like
Yeah.
serious trouble.
Well, of course not. They got the best babysitters in the world: Crowdpod 9 and a giant rooster.
Yeah.
My
What
God.
could go wrong?
Oh no, Jay, you're gonna make something go wrong, aren't you?
No.
I will go ahead and tell you, at some point they leave the ship, rent a land speeder, and go for a joyride and do a whole bunch of different stuff. But we'll be back by the time you get back to the ship, assuming everything goes well with your.
Is this a Ferris Bueller's Day Out, but with Seth and Liam?
Pretty much, yeah. Which might
Swear
have to
to
be a whole
God,
other one
if
shot.
they hurt themselves, and he's gonna hurt them more.
If you hurt yourself, so help me God, I'm gonna hurt you way more.
If you guys get killed, I'm gonna kick your asses.
You get back and Liam's got like the land speeder in reverse with a brick on the gas pedal, and they're trying to take the miles off it. No. But yeah, that's what you could expect them to do, but they'll be fine. So we'll go ahead and take our break here, and then when we come back, you all will be in your sport utility speeder, heading out to that location, and we'll get to that then. But yeah, don't go anywhere. We'll be back in about 10 minutes, and we'll find out what's going on at this crazy complex. Be right back. And we are back. So, before we jump in, thank you so much, Michael, for that disadvantage. That is an odd ouch and thank you at the same time. We'll see what happens with Sparky having advantage and me having disadvantage on the next roll. But I appreciate the donation. So you hop in your sport utility speeder. Everybody is sitting pretty comfortably. You've got plenty of leg room, all that good stuff. And as you start heading out towards the complex with the farms nearby and everything, you're going for quite a ways. I mean, you've driven miles, and there's nothing around you but just desert on all sides. And who's driving, by the way?
Captain could.
Okay.
I'm going to say is it's not Sparky.
Jesus, take the wheel.
Jesus, don't take the wheel. You've never been to Mars.
He never had his driver's license. He never took driver's ed.
Goodness. All right, so as you're driving, you've been going for quite a ways with nothing in sight. And then as you sort of crest this small, there's like a little area where there's like a little bit of rolling hills. And by that I mean they're like a couple of meters in height, just enough that on the downslope you can't quite see what's coming up over the road. As you come up on one of those, as you crest that little bump, you can see what looks like a storm rapidly approaching on the horizon, and it looks like a sandstorm. There's lightning happening in it.
Is it by debris?
No, but the thunder does make a little da-da-da-da noise as it sort of ripples through the air. You're welcome.
I was gonna make the joke, Lisa, and I was like, I better not.
Thank you.
You all.
And it is rapidly approaching. Now, there's a couple unusual things about this. One, the terraforming and weather control systems on the planet are supposed to make it so that these aren't really a thing anymore. And two, it's moving really fast. Like fast enough that like if you turned around right now and pedal to the metal, maybe you could outrun it, but you're not even sure then. So you immediately know that there's something up with the weather control system, and that this is coming really hard and fast. What do you do?
Sparky, are you certain that the farm is in this direction?
It's what the satellite said, and Sparky's got like a big, almost like a fold-out sheet of the satellite pictures. Like, yeah, we should be going that way because then there's that like landmark hill over there. We're heading like northwest, northish, right?
Does Captain's ship ability translate to land vehicles?
They do both hover.
Like ship systems, no.
But would I have any like navigational sense?
Yeah, like you can. It's a sport utility speeder, so of course it's got a compass on it, and like a GPS and whatnot.
Yes, that's the direction we are headed.
Of course.
Do you wish to drive through the storm?
Either we drive and try to get there before the storm hits, or we sit and wait it out. I mean, I don't know if we have a choice.
I suppose we could, and it's nowhere in sight so far, right? This farm?
Yeah, which is not unusual. Like, it's going to take a while to get there.
I guess we'll drive...
In the middle of nowhere, I mean literally in the middle of nowhere.
Right, like...
Take your fourth left on the road. There's only 4 lefts on it, so it's probably the last one. Wait till you get to the fence that's white because Jess had painted it last year. And then once you get up the driveway, you got another 3 miles to go. I have
Yeah,
a lot of
sounds
friends who
about
live
right.
in the middle of nowhere. Sorry.
That's literally how, if you had asked someone how to get there, that's literally what they would have said.
Great. I guess we'll drive further until we actually come in contact with the storm.
All
That
right.
sounds good to me, Cap. I trust you.
It only takes about 10 minutes for the storm to catch up to you if you're driving towards it. And immediately your visibility is reduced to about maybe 10%. The vehicle's rocking back and forth, sort of shuddering a little bit. It's making it very hard to keep the vehicle straight. But aside from that, your vehicle seems to be fine, and you don't have zero visibility. You're probably all thinking, really glad I got this particular model now, because the other one, all of this dust might have scratched up the window and it would have been really hard to see out of. But this one has a special, coating on it to make it not scratch or break with rocks, so you're still able to see out. But your visibility is about 10%, and it's really difficult to tell if you're even on the road or not. Do you stop? Do you slow down? Do you keep going? How do you want to approach the situation?
I'm gonna say, unless anyone objects, slow down, but keep going.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Then I need an engineering mechanical roll.
Can anyone assist?
Not really, because there's no co-pilot like seat. It's just the driver's seat. We just got back from break, admin.
31.
So 31. So thankfully, because you slowed down, a 31 is enough. You're able to find the road again, and stay on it. You still don't have a whole lot of visibility, and that definitely is going to have all of you having thoughts of, there's no telling what could step out onto the road, or what's up ahead. It's very unnerving being in this basically massive thunderstorm, because lightning's still going on all around you, without any rain, and no visibility.
How long's that timer for, Raven?
I believe that's a 5-minute timer.
All right.
All right, let me pull up the clock.
Wait, what timer?
So admin is redeeming channel points or guild coins to have Jay and I swap places for 5
Oh
minutes.
my god.
Here's your complimentary anxiety bag.
Thanks. I hate it.
Thanks. I've got my own kit. It's okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, let me know when the
and
timer is.
starts now.
Okay, so you are driving straight into the sandstorm. You have slowed down a bit, which is lovely. Your windscreen is kind of intact, but it's still a ways out to the farm. What do you want to do?
Keep going, I guess. I
Okay.
mean, I don't know what else I'm gonna do at this point.
And what was the roll you made for
30.
mechanical engineering?
31.
31. Okay. Yeah, I'd say it takes a bit longer than you thought it would take, just because you're going slower and there's a couple corrections you have to make, but for the most part you're on course.
Okay.
And I'd say it's probably, what would you probably like 3 hours is what it would normally have taken you to get out there. Let's say it like takes 4.5.
Okay. That's
And yeah, the storm is still kind of going. You're getting closer to the eye now that you've been going for a while. It's a fairly large storm. It's terraforming. It doesn't create as thick of an atmosphere as you want, so sometimes the storms just get real big, and you can kind of see off in the distance what looks like a bunch of Quonset huts, like kind of thin like transparent sheeting on them, and they look like more or less like greenhouses, like kind of retrofitted greenhouses,
Okay.
all in a row. And then there's a smaller kind of geodesic dome shaped but made out of multicolored, almost like glass, off to one side, which looks more like the house of the farm.
Okay.
And you don't see any vehicles outside of it.
Right,
I'm
Captain's
Taking as
gonna.
many fucking liberties as I can, Raven.
Go for it. I think Sparky's going to lean forward in the Humvee SUV
Mhm.
speeder and just sort of talk to Captain and be like, so Captain, like I know you're great at flying spaceships and everything. No doubts there. Have you ever driven one of these things through something like are you good? Do we need to stop or?
I've never done it to my recollection, but I'm fine.
It's so real.
Are those
Okay.
buildings, and she'll point out the buildings to them, saying, are those what we are looking for?
Are these they?
Are they?
Sorry.
Maybe. I mean, I can't really. I don't have the whole memory thing.
Yeah.
But
Sparky,
this-
there is
this seems right.
something. There's something that kind of clicks. It's not the buildings though. It's the fencing. There's something about the fencing that's like, you can almost remember what that feels like having to hop over. It's a very like, think like if you took a bunch of like mud to make fencing and then painted over that. It kind of feels like Adobe with paint on it.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't really remember the buildings, but the fence seems kind of familiar. I have this weird, like, not quite memory, but just like, I feel like maybe I like ripped my pants on one of those one time. Like one of the
biggest
rough
fashion
dried
disaster.
edges. I have the vaguest sense of getting in trouble for that, but this seems familiar, but that's about all I've got.
Good enough for Captain.
We're basically running on a string at this point anyway.
Yeah.
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 So what do? Do you kind of stop outside? Do you look for an entrance through the fence?
Step outside. Well, try to find a vehicle entrance.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like there's like a service vehicle entrance almost, like something you would pull like tractors if there were tractors through. Kind of a double gate. And it's open. Again, there's no vehicles in there, and with the sand up, you can't really tell if there's any tracks or kind of outbuildings beyond the main ones. The glass is kind of, you can hear it like tinkling through the windshield, so you can tell there's definitely a building there, but otherwise it's pretty slim pickings for sight.
Can I roll hearing to see if I hear any like maybe any sort of electrical sounds or anything like that? Anything that's differentiated from the crackling da 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 from the thunder going on in the sandstorm?
Yeah, I would say go for that.
Anything that might give us a hint on where to go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Man, that sensor is awfully rude.
Yeah.
You're all awful.
So it's a 34,
34,
on
okay.
hearing.
Do you want to use a d6 on that? Because you are in the middle of a sandstorm.
I think so.
Okay.
If everyone's okay with that. I will take the silence as affirmation.
Yeah,
Yes.
resounding.
There were no objections, so I'm going to use one. All right, and Sparky rolls a 1.
Of course they do.
I'm really living up to Sparky's luck here.
Absolutely you are. Yeah, 35 will do it though. So on a 35, you'll hear it's hard to tell at first, but once the engine kind of goes into the idling, once you've stopped, quote unquote, you're just hovering, you can hear the humming coming from the greenhouse buildings, but you can also hear something coming from inside the glass building. And the one coming from inside the glass building sounds more like kind of like a generator rather than just like, machinery. The one inside sounds like it's definitely something specifically a generator.
Okay. And that's 5 minutes.
Cool.
So, what do you want to do about that generator sound that you hear coming from that glass building?
It's a real good question. Cap,
Yes,
do you hear that?
I do.
Doesn't even have to roll. I hear everything.
I'm God. No.
Yeah. I'm hooked into the sus computer.
Pretty sure I saw that building vent.
Yeah. Okay, well, like, do you think anyone's home? Because I don't see any, like, I don't see anything. I mean, I don't see anything, obviously, but...
Would you care to get out and investigate?
Sparky kind of looks around at the rest of the crew like, sure. Does anyone else want to come and investigate the weird glass house?
Daisy sort of like pulls the sunglasses down a little bit, looks out the window. Unless there's like some computer network in there you need me to hack, I think I'm better in here. Puts her sunglasses back up, and it's another long pull off of that coffee thermos cup.
Seattle pops his goggles on and wraps the scarf up and into the collar sort of thing, and like hands shoved into pockets.
Okay. Yeah, Sparky kind of does the same. They'll like pull up the kind of plasticky hood and then pull a little like velcroed face covering over, and then strap some other goggles on as well.
Okay. What about Annie?
What about Annie?
Yeah, Annie's gonna go with you guys.
All right. As you all step out of the excuse me, step out of the speeder, it's surprisingly calm because you are in the sort of eye of this big storm. So there is like the howling sound, but it's off in the distance. The eerie thing about it, though, is that it's literally surrounding you. So you hear it from literally all directions, just faintly. And as you start walking up, you can see that the lightning's still happening in the storm. And something that you hadn't noticed before is the like silica type particles and little bits of very reflective material. It looks like some sort of like laser light show when it goes off. So it's not like normal lightning in a thunderstorm.
Oh, is it kind of like fiber optics?
Yeah, kind of like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Like fiber optics, and then sparks that seem to like shoot off to a bunch of different directions. So it sort of bounces off the particulate matter.
Mm-hmm.
Does Captain need to worry about being a walking antenna?
A little bit.
Yeah. Oops.
Great.
You're fine here in the eye,
Okay.
but once it catches up, maybe want to get back in the car.
Gotcha.
Sorry.
Hi, Icy. But yeah, you are able to approach the building, and as far as you can tell, there's nobody here.
Is it? And this might be a stretch, but is it like, quote unquote, a work day? I know on a farm it's never not really a work day, but is it kind of the season? Do we think? Do the greenhouses look used?
Let's
They were
do
gonna roll for something?
a naturalist roll, yeah.
Oh no.
With advantage.
All right. Well, first one's a 20. Second one's a 13. So I'll take a 20.
Awesome. So with a 20, plus we'll add a little bit onto that because of advantage. Yeah, it's the current season is sort of a replanting season. So it is sort of a work day. It is season for working, but it's not as labor intensive. It's mostly tilling up the old plant materials and then getting it ready to be replanted.
Okay.
So they could be out in the field, or they could just not be here. But I will add in, as part of that role, as you look through some of the windows, like on the house and everything, the farmhouse itself, you do notice that there seems to be like a meal at the table, and one of the chairs is like knocked over, and it looks like whoever was there left in a hurry.
Are you telling me there was a crime?
Possibly.
Okay. Sparky's gonna pull out their stun baton and kind of motion to the rest of the crew, like, something happened. I don't know. Like, it's muffled by the code, obviously.
Is Sparky doing this over comms?
Actually, yeah. Shit, I guess we have comms.
We got our finger comms.
Yeah. Are they working? Is my other question. Yeah. Okay.
Again, I'm gonna tack this onto that same roll.
I do want to stress it was a non-nat 20. It wasn't a nat 20.
Oh, I know, but
okay,
just getting the mileage out of that advantage.
Okay.
I will give you this last little bit of info, and you figure that they're working now, but when the storm catches up, they probably will stop working, or work very poorly.
Yeah, they'll get like fuzzy. Okay. Yeah. So Sparky, relay what they've seen through the door, and if anyone else can see through it, obviously.
You're all able to see and or hear sort of like the window roll down in this speeder, and Daisy's got like the EMP gun like sticking out of the window. And just messages back, all right, I'll cover you from here.
I'm just imagining like a cracked window with just like sunglasses and like the barrel of a gun,
and just
right
like,
here.
That's exactly it. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. What are Sparky and or not Sparky? Jesus. What are Annie and Seattle doing?
Seattle's kind of got his knife out and just kind of moving to help clear the house.
Okay.
Okay.
What are you doing?
I feel like Annie is probably following their lead. I would say that she probably wears those little like thigh blades that she tried to get away with bringing last time. I'd say that she probably has those with her just as kind of like that's her little hidden weapon, I guess. Okay. So she takes those with them as well.
I'm cool with that.
Okay.
Cool.
So clearing this farmhouse. So to be clear, you've got like a farmhouse on your left and like a greenhouse type thing on your right. Is that what you were thinking?
Yeah.
Okay. So the farmhouse on the left, you're able to see through the window, that there was a meal, a chair's been knocked over. Clearly they left quickly. Mm-hmm. And you're wanting to clear this building. How do you want to get in? Do you go check the front door? Do you look for other entrances, or are you going for windows? Do you make a door?
Yeah,
given this crew,
I think front door is probably, if it's like unlocked, we're all there. So
yeah. As you approach the front door, you can see as you get close to it, it's not quite closed. It was just barely off the latch. Like maybe somebody tried to slam it shut and didn't quite pull hard enough.
You gotta close the door nicely. Don't slam the door. Treat it like your grandma.
So as you approach, you realize you can just gently push it and it'll open up.
Okay. Yeah, Sparky will just...
And it opens inwardly. And yeah, there actually is a creaking sound as it opens up. You smell the sense of a home-cooked meal, complete with that hot sauce smell that seems really familiar.
That's dope. Okay.
So that sort of hits you right out of the gate.
Sparky's gonna stop as they get in the door and kind of just like shuffle off to the side so the other two can come in. They're not moving into the room though. They're kind of just like stun baton at the side, like not really sure what to do. They've never really cleared a house before, and also that stuff.
Okay. What does everybody else do?
Seattle's gonna basically gesture with Captain and Annie and stuff, like kind of like when he's going into a room, sort of thing, and like have the other, if there's another entranceway, have one of them go into that way, sort of thing, as they kind of move through the house.
Okay. Having them look inside for another entrance or look outside for another entrance?
Inside.
Okay.
Sorry, my brain is very foggy today. I apologize.
You're totally fine. I think all of us are in similar boats today. Okay, so you're moving in and motioning for other people to look for other entrances inside. If I got that right. And Annie. Sparky and Seattle have gone in.
Mhm.
What are you doing? How do you want to approach this?
I feel like Annie is probably on this specific mission, staying closer to Sparky than she usually does. Like she doesn't verbally say it, but given the nature of the excursion and the knowing what she does, there's kind of like that little piece of her in the back of her mind that's like, okay, well, we're here for Sparky. Maybe Sparky needs a little bit more support this time around than they would usually. So she wants to stick close to them, I think, a little bit more. Not like so clingy that she would get in the way or anything like that, but just a little bit closer than normal.
I follow. Okay. And then Captain, where are you in all of this?
Probably nearby Seattle.
Okay. Well then, as you move in, again, all of you can, aside from maybe the captain, can smell this home-cooked meal. And it definitely smells fresh. Like it was cooked very recently. The layout of the house that you can see immediately is there's some stairs that go upstairs to presumably bedroom area. There is a sort of a like sitting room. It's like a half of a room, like just right off of the front door, where there's space to take off your shoes, things like that, hang up coats and whatnot. And there's just like a couple of
abyss.
Yeah, there's like 2 or 3 chairs and a little coffee table. Not really a living room, but just if you have somebody stop over and they just want to chat for a second, it's kind of where you would sit. And then there's a little hallway that goes towards the back of the house, and that's where you can see a kitchen dining room combo. And you see the table with the food on it. Just beyond that is the kitchen, which has sort of like a...
Seattle's gonna check how warm the food is.
Okay. There's a bar, and the kitchen wraps around the rest of the room. As you approach to see how warm the food is, you notice there's like there's like looks like a rack of ribs or some sort of like rib chops. Seattle, you're probably not sure what kind of meat this is, but it looks sort of like lamb chops, but it's a little bit bigger, and the texture seems a little bit off. Not quite sure what that is, but that's there. There's a salad in a big bowl. There's probably like 5 place settings that are out, and a couple of vegetable sides and a soup. And about half of the place settings have had the soup dished out, and the ladle is sort of on the tablecloth, which is sort of stained it.
How many place settings are there, Raven?
5. Why are you me at 5 place settings?
One person would be bad, 5 people is worse.
I see. What,
yeah,
what do
Sparky.
you?
Sparky, while
test for-
Seattle's doing that to it. Good.
Oh, sorry. I was. What do you test for temperature? Which dish?
The food, the food that looks most recently abandoned.
Okay, so like the soup. Soup is still very hot. And what were you saying, Sparky? You're going to do while Seattle was doing
While
that?
Seattle's looking that over, Sparky's gonna look down you said there was like a hallway to a back door, right? Or did I mishear that?
That's just the hallway to the to where Seattle is now. There's stairs that go up to
Okay, yeah.
bedrooms.
If Sparky can see Seattle, they're gonna like do the comms, but kind of like sign as they're doing it. They're gonna go upstairs with Annie to check it out, and they'll message Captain as well, like, you know, if you want to stay with Seattle, or if you want to come with us, either or. Sparky never cleared a house. They don't know what's going on.
Seattle's gonna try a bite of the soup.
Of course you are. Joke's
It's-
on you, it was all poisoned.
It's cheesy potato soup with like a little bit of not quite split pea, but something similar to it. So it's got just a little bit of like
Seattle's going to serve himself another bowl of the soup because the soup is delicious.
We're in the middle of a mission. It's not snack time.
All right, so you have one person that's eating unknown food that's been left out, and two other people that are going upstairs, effectively completely splitting the party. I love this. What's Captain doing while Sparky and Annie are going upstairs?
Yeah, Sparky would wait to see if Captain wants to come with. But
Captain is staying with Seattle because she's watching him eat strange food and it's just like, why are you like this?
It's so on brand for Seattle, though. I love it.
I thought we were over this phase.
I thought we
Bold
were
of you to
over
assume it
putting
was a
strange
phase.
things in our mouth phase, but you know, whatever.
I'm only 3 months
Oh
old.
my god.
Yeah, apparently.
Yes, I remember when I was 3 and built my first corpse cannon. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. The halcyon days.
All right, so Seattle's eating. Captain is observing. The two of you are able to head up the stairs. The stairs creak, by the way. Like they're quiet, and then you hit one stair. It's just like the. And so you try to step a little bit lighter, of course. And you get a couple of stairs that are fine, and then there's another one.
Those the wake up mom and wake up dad stairs.
Yeah. But let me get a hearing check from Annie. See if you notice which stairs those were as you're following.
I don't like any of this.
Okay, hold on. That is a nat 20, and then my modifier's 5, so
Nice. So really high number.
The 35, right?
Yeah. So yeah, you notice which stairs are creaky and you're able to avoid them. You also hear like this whirring, like whoom 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 sort of noise coming from one of the bedrooms, along with a little like sporadic. See if I can pick it up on the microphone. Noise. So you do hear that. There's 5 places. There are 4 bedrooms upstairs, and a couple of bathrooms. Actually, you've played Phasmophobia. The Edgefield street house. The layout's not dissimilar to that.
okay. Similarly to street
Bathroom
names,
ghost.
absolutely no idea what street names are, but I can picture how to get from point A to point B. Same thing here. Don't remember which one Edgefield is.
The one where Rowan always dies.
Is that the one with the garage in the basement?
Yes, it has a garage and a basement and a big upstairs.
Right. Okay. Yes. There's like a bathroom right at the top of the hall of the stairs.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Now I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's 4 bedrooms and a bathroom that you can access. And you both are able to get to the top of the stairs. That's all you hear. You don't hear like people or like breathing or talking or anything like that. It's just that noise.
And that's just Annie hearing it, right?
Yes.
Okay.
You are welcome to try to hear
I'm
it
okay.
if you would like.
I think Sparky's brain is still kind of downstairs, like thinking about like, why were there 5 places? Why with all these like smells? Why is this so familiar? So they're kind of lost in thought as they're going through. But yeah, they'll point to the first door on the left, I guess, and be like, do you want to do this one first? Kind of whispering.
Where did you say exactly, Raven, the sound was coming from?
The back rightmost bedroom.
And
all
Sparky
the
is pointing to the
doors-
near one, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like the first one off the stairs. So
All the
What were you
bedroom
saying,
doors,
Raven? The time?
all the bedroom doors are closed. None of them are locked. And the bathroom door is open, so you can see that it's a bathroom.
Okay. Before they actually move into any room, Annie is going to motion to the back where she heard the sound and just give Sparky a heads up first that she does hear something there. But while she keeps her eyes on that door, she kind of moves up to the one that Sparky had pointed out and kind of leans closer to listen, kind of press her ear against the door to see if there's anything there.
okay. Sparky
Okay.
will do the same with this door. Yeah.
So Annie's listening to... Sorry, which door?
That first one off the stairs that Sparky pointed to?
So the way I picture it, at least, is like stairs going up this way. If you turn, the first door on the left.
Yeah. So you got like basically 3 doors on the left,
Mhm.
and then 1 door on the...
Like down the hall.
Hold
on
on.
the right.
3 doors on the left.
Yeah.
The back wall has 1 door that's the bathroom, and then
Okay.
the door next to it is another
Okay.
bedroom.
Yeah, I get you.
And there is a door on the right which is slightly ajar, and it is like attic storage.
Nope.
It's like a half door, like
Nope.
short door. If you peek in there, it's lit well enough. You can see there's nothing in there but just stuff. It's not a creepy attic door. I will.
I've never met an attic that weren't creepy, Raven.
Okay, fair. It's not an overly creepy attic door.
Okay, fair.
It doesn't say the ghost is in this room.
Doesn't say
it's just a
"Keep out
door.
Knob and Robin. It's a 20 from me for hearing on the left door.
Okay. There is silence.
Okay. Is the
Same
door
same
unlocked?
for same for Annie. There is nothing to hear, so you don't hear anything. The door is unlocked.
Okay, yeah. Sparky will try and just like jimmy it open real slowly and just kind of push it in without moving into the doorway.
Yeah. The door opens. Surprisingly, there's no creak on this door at all. But it does smell a little funky in the room. And a quick assessment would tell you this is a teenager's room. There's like band posters on the wall, like very old dishes, tucked into weird places, which is where most of that smell's coming from. Clothes
smell
all
of-
over the floor.
Must.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, after like a quick glance in, Sparky's gonna be like, shut the door. And then I guess stack up on the second one. That's kind of
Okay.
the like going all the way along the left door, bathroom door, and then the last one.
All right.
Because I
So.
want to build suspense.
Boom.
Yeah.
So the second door, if you listen to it again, silence.
Mhm.
And assuming you open it,
Mhm.
it looks like probably like a somewhere between maybe 7 and 10-year-old,
Okay.
like a little girl's room. There's some dolls, things like that you would expect to see.
I didn't think to ask, but is the power on?
It is, yeah.
Okay. Is the light on in this room and in the other room, or is it off?
The lights were off in those 2 rooms.
Okay.
But I mean, with dinner being set at the table,
It's just a weird
doesn't seem
question
unusual.
Sparky would want to know.
No problem. Just letting you know, it's like it's off for normal reasons.
Okay.
But yeah, there's nothing really of interest in this room at a glance. I mean, you can really dig around in there if you want to, but
Good.
nothing really comes to your eye.
Okay.
And then you do the same with the third room, right?
Mhm.
Let me get a hearing check from both of you.
32.
Nice.
17.
For
Highly trained.
Annie's a 17. So for Annie, this is very, very faint. You just barely pick it up. But for Sparky, you hear it really well. It's like a little child giggling noise, but it's a little tinny, like it's coming from a speaker. And like a nursery rhyme music box type sound. But it sounds a little bit off.
No, ma'am. Don't like it. Sparky looks not even like not put off, but just confused. Like, why is this in this? Like, what the fuck is this? They'll like motion to Annie, like, do we want to go in? Do we want to leave it? Like,
So you said it's a music box?
Yeah, it sounds like a recording of a music box. It's got that cheap toy speaker sound quality to it, and you hear it's just like giggling in this like nursery rhyme tune. There's no words or anything. It's just music.
Annie motions for them to move on.
okay.
If they need to, they can come back. But
I'm cool with that.
Okay.
Yeah, like on the way to checking the door on the right way, Sparky will just kind of like pop the bathroom door open and do a quick like, because someone's waiting on the crapper with a shotgun, they're gonna get us. Like,
No, the bathroom door is already open. Like you can see in there, it's empty.
Okay.
It smells nice. There's like this really nice little bowl of potpourri on the back of the toilet, and it's got like the really fancy, smell good hand soap. Nice hand towels. Clearly somebody with.
I was gonna say these farmers did well.
It's a very much a country taste, but it is a classy country taste.
I'm sorry. Is that a bad thing? A country No, you're good. I'm not offended. I don't care. So yeah, then I guess Sparky's gonna go to the right door. Also, we can switch back to the other team with their wonderful soup eating if you want at any point.
Yeah, we'll hop back down there in just a second. I just was curious, does Sparky go and listen at that door?
Yes, yeah. Since with the whole music box business, I think there's something afoot, and
Okay.
I'd like to see if there's a hand attached.
So you hear the same thing that Annie heard. Just this whoop, 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 whoop noise, and the soft tinging. It's periodic, but it's
many
regular
ideas.
intervals.
I can't tell what it is. They're all bad. Unless someone tied a fork to the fan or something.
You're gonna hate me.
I am.
But yeah, you hear that. That's all you hear in the room.
Okay.
And with that, we'll hop down to the kitchen again real quick. So, Seattle, you're enjoying this very delicious hearty soup. It's really quite expertly made. Just the right amount of seasonings. You and the captain can probably see that the storm is getting a little bit closer, the other side of it. You're not in like immediate danger, but just having that understanding, like time is a factor. But aside from that, it's quiet. There's nobody down here. There's really nothing weird going on.
Is there any access to the storm cellar?
There's actually not a storm cellar that you're able to see. You didn't notice any like doors on the outside, like your you know storm chaser movie style cellar, like you would see. Nothing like that you noticed. There doesn't seem to be anything down here either. There's a back door. There's a little back porch, just off of the kitchen, but that's it.
Is there like a family room area
Not really.
that's
Like this seems
decorated in any way?
this kind of seems to be it.
Are there pictures?
That's a good question. There probably would be some pictures. Yeah. A picture of your stereotypical, farm couple with a teenage boy who looks like he's not really thrilled to be there. A younger girl, and then a baby.
And
like a
would
toddler age baby.
Mhm. Would I notice anything of note about these people?
You could try. You could make a sight roll to see if you notice anything, but definitely at first glance they seem unremarkable. There's some things, if you get really, really high, you might notice something like Sherlock Holmes style of observation. But aside from that, no.
This wasn't just on a mission level.
Would I be able to add my android ability onto it?
Not really.
Oh, darn it. Okay, let's see
Seattle
here.
is gonna use his little his tablet to take some pictures of the photos and stuff, so we have them for
15.
later if we need them.
Yeah, there's nothing really remarkable about these pictures.
Okay.
Yeah.
He did rinse his bowl off in the sink.
Very nice. The water
So he's
works.
not a complete barbarian.
Yeah, the water works just fine. Yeah, you're able to rinse your bowl off, and there's a couple other dishes in the sink, probably from where they had cooked the meal. So pots and pans, that sort of thing. Okay, with that, let's hop back upstairs. So Sparky, Annie, you've both heard this noise. You heard the creepy noise from the third bedroom. There's also the attic door that is slightly ajar. What do you want to do with this situation here?
Go home.
Yeah, basically. I'm like, you know what? I actually don't care about my uncle. Yeah, you know what? Sparky's gonna knock on the door. They're gonna motion to Annie before they do it, but they're gonna be like,
Okay.
Annie kind of like moves back from the door.
yeah. Sparky kind of steps away from the wall frame, and does actually they'll like knock with the back of the sun rod. Yeah.
I just feel like maybe it's
Okay.
if somebody comes out to look, it would be less intimidating to see one person
Yeah, that's fair.
than it would to see two. So she
That's
kind of like
fair.
backs off a little bit.
Well, one
Okay.
intruder is better than two, I suppose.
Yeah.
How do you knock? Like what's the knock pattern?
Probably like a 1-1-2.
Okay. There's no sound that comes back other than what you were hearing. No reaction.
Sparky's gonna really quietly kind of whisper to the door, like, "Hello, is anyone home?"
Just hear the boom, 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 boom.
Is this door shut?
It is. It's unlocked
Is
though.
anyone home? They say after breaking in.
I was just looking for your washroom and I found it, so I wanted to let you know that I found your washroom. I'm gonna go now. Didn't actually need it. Just, I'm the washroom inspector. I'm gonna know that you gotta It's a weird job. So, yeah, Sparky's gonna open the door and just kind of like just enough to pop it out of the locking mechanism, but not swing it in right away.
Okay.
Just like a little, and then step back.
The door handle feels particularly more difficult to turn. Not like it's difficult for you to open the door, but like there's just
Hold
more
up.
resistance on it than the other 3 doors.
Hold up.
Okay.
Something, because all of this shit has put Sparky on edge more than usual. Can I roll something to see if the door is not trapped per se, but if there's something attached to the other side?
You can certainly try.
Okay.
If you're looking to
Gut
see
feeling?
if you're like looking for traps or anything
Yeah.
like that, that sounds like a engineering mechanical.
Okay.
Just to tell like carefully inspect and see if there's any sort of mechanisms, or if this resistance is caused by something.
Okay. Could I add my assassin training to that?
Sure, I'll let you do that.
Okay. That's good because I have a really bad roll otherwise. Although I rolled super well, so hey, that's 27 plus 6, so that is a 35. No, that's not how math works. 33.
33. Okay.
That's not how math works.
It's not trapped.
Okay.
But you do notice that this door is different than the other ones. It's heavier. It's made of a different material, and this doorknob is harder to turn. There's a number of reasons why somebody would have a door like this, whether it be for security, or it could simply just be because they don't want little ones opening the door to their room while
I was
they're
gonna
not
say,
there.
is it a
Yeah.
child
I
lock,
was
like
gonna say,
one
that's
of those
fair.
baby?
Yeah.
It's not like a child lock one, but it definitely feels like the teenager would be the only one that would be able to actually turn this handle.
Right. Okay.
So it could be that, or it could be something more sinister.
Who could say?
Me.
Raven. Okay.
Um,
But yes, satisfied that there's no traps on it. I guess Sparky's just kind of boot the door open, kind of just enough to get it swinging open, but without getting too close.
It swings open with a nice, long, loud.
Why does no one oil their fucking hinges? I swear to God, it's like $5 at the store. You get a whole fucking can of it.
Seattle leans. Oh God! Commentary would be children. That's why you don't oil things.
I suppose that's fair.
And I should note the teenager's door did not have a creak at all. It seemed very well oiled. So it swings open, and you can see the light is on in here, and there is a ceiling fan that is making a whoomp 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 noise. It's got like one of those little tassel things that you pulled for the light, and it's just hitting against the glass globe for the light.
I fucking knew it. Oh, it was my first thought. I was like, is Raven really gonna pull the fucking bag over my head today? Oh.
However,
this is, sorry to interrupt, but this is like stalking around your house at 2 a.m. because you hear a noise, and it's like the fucking washing machine is off tilt or something.
Yeah.
Or
Like, it's
even
just-
worse, it's your bathtub has like a drip.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's just hitting the faucet just right. Oh, okay. Sorry, you said however there is.
However, so first of all, the fan is a little off balance, and that's why
Mhm.
it's in particular making that dink 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 noise. However, while the fan is not really that much of interest, what's behind one of the nightstands might be, because it looks like this nightstand was pulled back into place in a hurry, and you actually can see just like on the corner of it that it looks like there's a door or a hatch or something like that behind.
Oh, like a
there.
little, like almost like a crawl space door.
Mm-hmm. That wasn't closed properly.
Much like myself, Sparky's getting the feeling that they suddenly they might have just done a break and enter on like a poor farmer's household. Oops. My bad. Sparky's gonna look to Annie to see what she's up to. Like points to the ceiling fan and then kind of gestures to the like crawl space door, and it mimes out like, are we just in somebody's house? Is there nothing sinister here? They're not speaking, they're just miming this out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Annie's kind of like, maybe we should just leave. That's kind of like where she's at mentally.
You both can do a gut feeling roll too to see
I would love to do a gut feeling.
let's do that.
to give you a hint one way or the other.
Raven, did you just gazebo us?
Oh no, I'm 100% convinced.
That is
it's not a gazebo.
We have just broken into someone's poorhouse. Like, we gotta go. They were having dinner. They're probably just battening down for the storm.
26.
26. You feel like there's something fishy with this particular door. There's another attic access point over there. It's really weird that there would be one in this particular spot on the house. And given that, maybe one of you glanced through that door, it didn't seem like the attic space, the storage space wrapped around that bedroom.
Yeah, see, Annie knows that there's something fishy, but Annie also asks, does Annie want to check it out?
Yeah, right.
Knowing there's something and investigating that something are two totally different things. And she is very, very curious by nature, but she's not quite sure what to do.
I was gonna say, if you're looking at Sparky, you can tell that they've got like the shuffly feet. They're very much like, we should probably go. Like, this was a mistake. We probably shouldn't have just busted into someone's house in the middle of a storm and like assumed they were killers or whatever. They're not saying anything, but they've got the anxious Sparky look. It's all the rage this season.
So with that, she leaves Sparky to do their little shuffle and goes to examine this little spot that looks weird behind the table, the little end table.
Sparky is shuffling more rapidly as you get closer to the door. They're like, we don't need to kill the whole family. What's going on? But they're not stopping you.
As you get closer, you can see that this nightstand is like on a rug to make it easier to pull out of the way. And it looks like in somebody's haste to pull it back into place, the rug got bunched up in the little door thing. So the door didn't close all the way. Otherwise, you probably would have had no idea this was here because it looks like it's made to be completely flush with the wall. So unless you're looking real close behind this nightstand, you would have no idea it's there.
Can I roll to hear again? Is there anything that I can hear?
You don't have to roll. There's nothing really to hear except that it does sound like the storm is getting a little bit closer. The other end of the eye of the storm. So it's starting to get a little bit louder. But I will say that you can, being this close, you can see through that doorway, and it's a well-lit little hallway that has a ladder that goes down on one side, and it looks like a secret tunnel.
I was actually going to ask. I was going to ask if it went up or down, so that's good to know.
Oh,
It goes down.
Annie pulls open the door as quietly as possible.
Yeah, it's pretty quiet, and like nothing comes, poking their head up from the hole where the ladder is.
I was just gonna say, Sparky is having flashbacks of the graveyard, and they're like ready. They're looking at the door and the fan and like everything in the room.
Before doing anything further, she opens that door and then she sends a quick message through the thumb comms to the others.
Yeah,
to let them know.
Let them know.
What does the message say?
Just basically like the specific bedroom that they're in. Like there's a door, a ladder that leads down. Like, I want to go check it out. Just wanted to let you know where I was going, where Sparky and I are, just in case. If you don't hear from us, check the ladder, the mysterious downward ladder.
Hopefully we don't get captured by the non-polite mafia.
Or shot by a farmer,
Also that,
Seattle looks to Captain and is like, I can wait with Daisy in the car if you want to go with them.
Captain just nods and heads upstairs.
As he's like putting stuff onto a tray, like I can wait with Daisy. Hang on.
No. He doesn't take any. He doesn't take any more food.
Making himself a plate.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Bring
take-
some hangover soup
Yeah.
for Daisy.
I mean, it's just gonna go to waste here.
Yeah.
Okay, he makes a bowl of soup and covers it to take out to Daisy.
Oh my god. Now that's Southern hospitality.
Oh my god. The southern hemisphere of Mars, right?
Yeah.
All right, so Captain, you're able to get up there and meet up with everybody. Seattle, you're able to go out to the car. About this time, the storm is getting really close. Like, it's going to hit within a couple minutes.
Mhm.
So, just confirming, because doing anything else is going to be rather difficult.
Mhm.
So just confirming, you absolutely are sure you want Captain Sparky and Annie going down this tunnel,
Mhm.
and Seattle and Daisy in the vehicle.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Well, now I'm not so sure.
Yeah.
Sure and all, but that looks like how it's gonna happen.
Yep.
That is
Okay.
indeed how it is going to
We have
happen.
at least one shit disturber on each side, so.
And that's not like an ominous, like something's
No, yeah.
going to for sure happen. It's just like letting you know, like swapping people out is going to be really hard in a minute.
Mhm.
All right, so
Annie just kind of turns to Sparky and she's like, how much do you figure that this is just like a storm shelter? The ladder clearly goes down.
As like anxious as Sparky looks, they look at Annie dead in the eyes and they're like, who puts a storm shelter behind a dresser in the main bedroom?
And isn't this upstairs?
I like the thought of Captain coming in, like making absolutely no
Yeah.
sound, and Annie going, ah!
Yeah, we both turn like,
In
It's
fact,
a
that
little
is
girl.
exactly what happens. Annie spooks, and she like lets out a peep, and then immediately tries to like clamp down, like not make any noise.
Sparky doesn't even turn around, but they definitely go stock still. Like the rod almost hits the fan.
She like hisses through her teeth, and she's like, "Captain, you can't do that."
Apparently I can.
You gotta.
Mom's taking the teenagers out.
okay.
Got a nat 20 in mom's step.
Yup.
Are you all going to go down the ladder? Is the question.
I suppose so.
Yeah, Annie goes on down.
Okay. What order are you going in?
That's a really good question.
Annie has no hesitation at this point. That they're there. Clearly, this is what they're doing. So she's committed. She
All right.
she goes on down. That's
All right.
Sparky
she
will
puts
Captain-
her knife in between her teeth as she uses her hands on the ladder.
So badass. I love
Sparky
it.
will go in the middle. They will put their sun baton away because it is reckless to put that in your mouth.
A little bit.
And they'll just mention to Captain like it's good that I'm in the middle because I'm probably the squishiest of the three.
Stand where you like.
Okay.
Yeah, and they'll go down the ladder too.
All right, then we'll start with Annie. When you get to the bottom of the ladder, you've been climbing for a ways, and you are clearly underground. And as you turn around, you can see there is a long tunnel going off in one direction before it forks, or not forks, but turns, goes to the right. There are like utility lights, like
like
hardware,
Yeah.
the little hanging cage
Got
light
it.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. There are those that light this tunnel. There's a little light
Are those
switch.
called storm lights?
They might be.
Anyway.
They've got like the little hook on them that you can just. There's a series of those, and there's a little light switch at the beginning of this tunnel that seems to power them. And there's some, how to put this. It's not like a dirt tunnel. It's got some construction to it. Little just rough walls and floor and things like that. If I could get an education roll from Annie,
Sure,
to see
why not?
if you might remember something.
I really
That's a
enjoyed
25.
this.
It seems a little bit familiar, but you can't quite put your finger on why.
Familiar to Annie. What are you doing? Why is she familiar with underground tunnels? I hate it, especially on Mars. Man.
It's just very vaguely familiar.
You paid to be a picture, and I didn't ask for it.
Sparky, you get down next. You see all the same stuff, same roll.
Okay.
I need an education roll.
Education. Okay. 26, so probably the same.
26. Yeah, what roll did you get, Vanessa?
25, I think, wasn't it?
25.
Yeah.
25. Okay.
Excuse me.
Yeah, same thing. It seems a little bit more familiar to you. Like it's on the tip of your tongue. Why does this type of material and construction seem familiar to me? But it's still just on the tip of your tongue.
Sparky's,
Captain.
this is a weird thing, but like as Captain's coming down, Sparky's gonna lick the wall, because sense memory.
Did you say lick the wall?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just check.
Sure, why not? Let's lick the things.
Listen,
Roll
I lick
smell.
a lot of stuff.
Roll smell taste. That's not a
probably
skill
the
that
best
you
way
have to use very
phrase that.
often.
This is gonna be bad. It's a 17. That's not the worst.
17. Again, it tastes. It's literally now on the tip of your tongue. It tastes familiar.
Okay, that's mostly what I wanted to confirm, because like that's concerning.
Annie's not even trying to hide the fact that she's looking at you weird. She just looks at you as like, what are you doing?
Because with the peppers, it was given the smell thing, so I thought if I looked at it, it tastes familiar.
Yeah, but see that makes sense. You would have eaten the peppers before. Why would you have put wall in your mouth before?
Why does the wall
Makes no
taste
fucking-
familiar, Annie?
I think that's more of an internal question that you should be stewing on, Sparky. Why does the wall taste familiar?
I love this crew.
Me too.
I love the thought of Captain coming down and
Yeah.
Annie and Sparky are just arguing about licking walls.
Yep, this is literally what you come down to. You see Sparky lick the wall in this conversation. I also need an education roll from you.
Hurting.
And what training do you have again?
Me?
Yeah, I know you got like ship systems, but
I have arm blades, ship guns, ship's computer, and android.
add Android to this.
Okay. And you said education?
Education, yeah.
While
That would
Captain
be a
is coming down.
24.
24. Doggone. Nobody got it. Okay. Well, you're all just left with the feeling that there's something here that you're missing, but you can't figure out what it is.
And she's going to just, without really looking at anyone, say, Sparky, please don't lick the wall.
Meanwhile, Annie's looking at the wall now and she's like, Sparky, did you get anything from licking the wall?
I did not get anything from licking the wall, but Cap told me not to lick the wall. Okay, Cap.
Annie, don't lick the wall.
I'm not gonna lick the wall. I was just curious.
Question. Is the
Yes.
wall something that is easily broken off?
I love that we're all just so focused on this goddamn wall now.
This is like I want to
Right.
take a chunk of it with me to see if we can't like analyze it if we get nothing out of it.
I mean, not with your bare hands, but you could
Okay.
like try to break off a piece with your stun baton.
I think I'll try and do that. Yeah, just a chunk, just like a little. Yeah.
All right,
Could
this
Captain
is
break a piece off?
Oh fuck.
easily.
No,
Uh,
no arm blades in confined spaces.
Yeah, if you want to use your arm blades, you don't even have to roll. You can just cut out a chunk of it.
There you go, Sparky. Have some wall.
Okay.
Don't put it in your mouth, please.
No.
Please.
Put it in your mouth. So Sparky takes it.
Yuck.
Puts it in their pocket. Thanks, Cap. I won't. I just want to like look at it later. I don't lick walls normally.
I
Can we go?
just had this mental scenario of going on the your quote unquote only 3 months old.
Oh,
I just had this
God.
mental image of Sparky looking at the cat and be like, I'm teething, give me a break.
You have teeth. I don't have my
brain
baba.
sometimes.
She just reaches and pulls out one of those silicone bead
Yeah.
necklaces
Yeah.
and hands it to them and just be like, this is better for your
This
gums.
is better for your teeth. Don't chew on rocks, you fucking.
All right. Well, with that, do you all head down the tunnel?
Yeah, Evan's leading the way.
Here we go.
All right. As you start heading down the tunnel, the house above you starts to shake a little bit, and you hear the loud howling, which you are all immediately able to connect with the storm.
I did want to ask, what direction is this heading? If I can kind of remember where the house was. If you want me to roll, I'm fine with that.
No, you're good. So if you were facing the kitchen,
Mm-hmm.
it is currently going towards the back of the house, like beyond the back of the house.
Okay.
And then it turns right.
Yeah, I was like,
Which
in
is-
relation to where the lab is.
Yeah, it turns right towards where the road was heading. So towards the lab, yeah.
Sparky's gonna mention that.
Okay.
Just like this tunnel's going in a similar direction to where the lab should be.
As you go to message that, it's not really working on the comms. So Seattle and Daisy don't hear this because the comms aren't working as the storm
Right.
passes overhead. And that's where we're going to end the player part of the session.
Coincidence.
However, the camera is going to pan down that tunnel to the opposite end, where there's a family meeting up with this sort of dark figure. They're sort of like in the shadows. The camera for the audience can't really make out who it is, but the kids are very confused, and the mother is just constantly telling them like it's okay. We just don't worry about it. There's a really bad storm and we had to leave. And of course the kids have questions that the mom's just glossing over. And the dad looks to this figure in the shadows and says, "How long do we have? Was it really necessary to make us use that tunnel?" I mean, he sort of like nods towards the kids. And there's a voice that the audience probably has one of those like, "Oh, I know that voice. What voice is that?" But I'm not going to tell you exactly whose voice it is. But they just say, "They're close enough. I thought they were dead. I didn't expect them coming back here. So we need to get the evidence and get the hell out." And that's where we'll end the whole session.
I want you to know that when you said at the other end of the tunnel, my brain immediately went, Rip is there with a giant crossbow waiting for us to turn the corner. I'll get you dastardly kids this time. Nah. I don't know why, but I just want you to
amazing.
know.
That's amazing. This was a blast. Next week we'll find out perhaps who this familiar voiced figure in the shadows is and
Could
what
it
they're trying to
be?
hide.
Who else wants me dead?
I mean, I don't think we have enough time to cover that before the raid.
And also, was it they singular or they plural?
Oh, who fucking knows?
Dun dun dun. And then I am making a note for myself. Where is my pad here? That I still have a disadvantage on my next roll because I
was gonna say,
having
yeah.
to roll.
Yeah.
Animus disadvantage on next roll. All right, so that way I will remember next week to include that. I'm sorry that this is one of the few episodes where I didn't end up doing any rolling. But yeah, this was great. We're gonna go around and talk about our favorite part, where we can find everybody next, and anything else everybody wants to share. And then we'll go on a raid. So we're gonna do reverse order. While everybody's talking, be thinking in chat about what our raid cry should be. Feel free to throw that out there. And we're going to start with Lisa. What was your favorite part? Where can we find you next? Anything else you want to share? All that good stuff.
My favorite part was probably the wall licking exchange.
That was pretty amazing.
And just the solution was to break off a chunk and hand it to them. Like, you bring a child to the store and they won't stop trying to reach for something on the shelf, and you're like, you know what, freaking fine, here. And you hand it to them because it's better that they just have it in their hands than try to pull it off the shelf.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, but yeah, I will be here next week. Same time, same place. And
Fantastic.
about it.
All right. Next, we'll hop over to Alex. What was your favorite part? Where can we find you next? And anything else you'd like to share?
Favorite part. Oh boy. The captain spooking the fuck out of Sparky and Annie. Just like, especially like Sparky's reaction of like, if I don't move, mom can't see me. Because I recognize that. It's just like that absolute, I didn't do anything yet. I didn't do anything yet. I didn't do anything yet.
Can't prove it.
Wasn't me.
But we got it on camera.
Wasn't me.
That was pretty great.
You can find me next on Tuesday back here for water.
Fantastic.
And you can also find me online on Twitch and Twitter at CanChaosArt, or my personal is at Agent Boss on Twitter. Yeah.
Fantastic. Next, let's hop over to Vanessa. What was your favorite part? Where can we find you next? And anything else you'd like to share?
My favorite part was the abundance of interaction between Annie and Sparky, because we sorely missed out on that with the heist. And just having a session where nothing particularly happened, but so much happened. But we were actually like able to have a back and forth the whole time. I think it was really nice to finally get a little bit more of that. And I fucking love Annie and Sparky together. They're just, the energy that they play off of each other is always really pleasant. And it's never a dull moment. It's always funny. So I definitely really appreciate that. And hats off to Jay for bouncing that energy back. It's always so fun. But I also did quite enjoy Captain just spooking the fuck out of Annie. It's like, can you not pick a worse time to sneak up on two people who have weapons?
And serious emotional and anxiety issues.
Your weapons do not scare me.
No, but here's the thing, though. Someone might hurt themselves. Perhaps not you, because you are very sturdy, but perhaps themselves. So yeah, I definitely love that. And then Daisy just sitting back, like, please don't speak too loudly, because I can't do it. But as
where do you want to go? Stop yelling!
Why are you yelling with your fist?
And then finishing with, oh, it's Dad.
Yeah. The sudden realization that if he could speak, he probably would, but you're stuck with the knocking. Yeah, I loved it. But yeah, as for where you can find me next, I will be here next Wednesday when we kick off the next season of Exodus, which is going to be really fun because we left off with our giant bug man. And then we have to get Sid her antidote and stuff like that. So that's going to be really fun if you'd like to join us then and check in on how our little crew is doing. But you can also find me at my art Twitter, which is at Pepero Draws. That's Pepero like the candy. And on my coffee page, which is coffee.com/Pepero Princess.
Fantastic. Yeah. Awesome. And yeah, last but not least, Jay, favorite part, where can we find you, and anything else you want to share?
fuck, I don't know. Lots of them. Honestly, yeah, like I have to mirror what Vanessa said. Well, it's so rare that we get times to actually interact for more than like a handful of minutes. So this was really cool to kind of see how Annie and Sparky work together in, I wouldn't even call it a dangerous situation. I don't even know what I would call this situation. It's weird though, and that was really fun. I loved seeing Captain with more and more interesting questions about human behavior, because the question of do cows, when they grow older, seek out human milk will haunt me for the rest of the night.
You're welcome.
And like, I can't fault the logic. That's, I think, the worst bit.
Right.
But yeah, the spooking, the like watching Seattle eat, like, why are you like this? We're in the middle of a mission. And kind of the just stoic friendship that Seattle had as well. Like, not pushing anything, just kind of waiting until the time was right for Sparky to tell him anything. That really, like, I didn't show much of it, but that really hit home, because I was like, oh, that's really nice. Like, I appreciate that. So all I'm saying is I love this whole fucking crew, and you all are amazing. And thank you for coming on my fucking roller coaster of a ride. Oh, and I enjoyed getting to be the DM, because I got to add a little more Mars flavor to it.
Oh yeah, that was amazing.
I have the weirdest image of future Mars in my head, let me tell you.
I love it.
I like it.
I loved getting to play Sparky for a little bit too.
Okay, I want to ask, because we know Vanessa's gone through it. Does it, like, do you feel that energy in your chest when you step into Sparky's shoes?
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit? Okay.
I feel like Raven got off really easy on that part.
Definitely.
Because when I took over Sparky, they were trying to decide whether or not to shank someone. So I feel like I kind of got more of that anxious. Yeah.
That is fair.
That's true. Yeah.
Also, I feel like the Hulk. I'm like, that's my secret. I'm always anxious.
That's fair.
Like, this is normal.
This is literally just like, I'm just gathering samples now. I'm like, is it just me? Is it me that does it, or is it the character?
Yeah.
But yeah, that like this has been a while in the making, and I've kind of been toying with this in the background with Raven, leading up to season 3. But it's really nice to see this starting to go, because it's probably not going to last too long, but it will have repercussions. Otherwise, where you can find me next is on Tuesday with Alex for Water, where I play a grandma astrophysicist who is 100% done with these people, and the robots who are prisoners, and this fucking planet full of horrible teethy monsters. Yeah, and then back for Saturday on Animus. And otherwise, I am still planning to do one-shot playtests sometime. It's probably going to be late this month. Probably the last week of this month, I'm thinking. Okay. Look out on Twitter, but also if you're in the Discord, just keep an eye on the Discord. I'll probably either put out open calls, or I'll put out like a Google Docs or something for it, because there's a lot of people that want to play, and I can't run it for everyone right now. I'm sorry.
No
I wish I could. But yeah, that's me.
All right. So that just leaves me. My favorite part, I have multiple. First favorite part is that the internet stayed stable the whole night.
Forgot about that. Yes.
Yeah. It didn't crash and cause issues and have to end the stream early. So that is my first favorite
sexy
part.
Of the internet, honestly.
Right. Second favorite part, I did enjoy getting to play Daisy hungover. That was a highlight for sure. The fantastic asset and challenge from admin. Thank you again so much for both of those. That was really great. The storm thing wasn't going to be a factor, so it was going to be a whole lot easier for them to coordinate and everything during all this, and now it's really hard, and I'm so happy about it. And also the swap, getting to play Sparky, and that was really fun. Basically, I think all I really did was I just dropped the masking of anxiety, and I was like, hey, you're Sparky.
That's it. That's literally it.
Yeah.
Step 1, drop the masking. Step 2, just panic.
Yeah, it was easy. But that was great. And then the wall licking and the soup eating, just like hey, this is good. I'm just gonna make a whole bowl.
The worst part is that Annie was like, okay, but did the licking of the wall work? Just asking for a friend. But how did that work out for you?
Does it taste familiar? Ringing any bells?
Yeah. So yeah, those were my favorite moments. The whole episode was great. You were all absolutely wonderful. Where you can find me next, let's see, today's Saturday. So Tuesday for Water is when I will be streaming next. That's at 6 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time, which is 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Mountain Standard Time. We're off Daylight Savings now, I believe. Whatever the mountain time normally is, that's
like
when it is.
February, March, isn't it?
I think. I don't know.
I'll check.
Time zones are hard, but 6-ish. I'll put it that way. There'll be tweets and Instagrams and Facebook posts and all that stuff that says what it is. That's where you can find me next. We'll also, as Vanessa said, have Exodus. Words are hard too. Exodus on Wednesday. We'll have more Star Wars on Thursday. Friday will be the first episode of Beyond the Wall and our session 0 of Mouth of the Beast Below. I think we might be streaming that one. I'm not sure about that. And then Saturday again we'll have more Time Travelers and Animus. So that's everything coming up this next week. Other stuff to plug is if you go to it's there in chat right now, coffee.com/raven/shop. That's ko-fi. You can currently pre-order Fundamental RPG 2nd Edition, which is the system that this game and Water both run off of. You can pre-order in PDF, paperback, or both formats. And those copies should be going out late February, early March. And we're currently working on the layout and art and styling and all that stuff. It's going to be really awesome. So definitely check that out. And if you are curious, the prices there do reflect shipping included. So if you're wondering why the paperback is so expensive, it's because shipping is included in that. That's why. I think that's my biggest thing to plug right now. We're going to go on a raid. We're going to go raid Persephoroth, who is a delightful person who's been on Twitch. I've seen her around on Twitter and everywhere, and I just recently started following her.
I used her as a face reference for one of my MERS.
She just hit affiliate a few days ago.
Oh, nice. I was gonna say, but
So
I
cool.
hadn't caught her streams. I guess it's because she just started. But I just recently started following her, and she's an absolute delight. Definitely go give her a follow if you're not doing so already. And we've got our raid cry, which is, did licking the wall tell you anything? So that is going to be, let me just get that in there with the emotes so you can just quickly copy and paste it. There you go. And I will see you all on Tuesday. Bye, everybody.